when you see, imagine you're in a cinema looking on a screen, right?
Yeah.
And as you sit on the front seat looking at the cinema on the screen, and play that as a little video now, how does it make you feel? 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, like being sad, if it's sad or if it, whatever it is, panic or whatever.
It makes me angry.
Makes you angry.
Yeah.
One to what?
Cool, a good 8 or 9.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm sure by now you guys know where we are. We're back here in Moo Moo's, Kent's hottest nightclub. And today we have a very unique guest with us, Robert. I'm not going to lie, mate, you fascinate me. You are a unconscious mind therapist. Obviously, I want to know how you got into this field, what led up to it. But before we do that, do you mind introducing yourself to our viewers, to our listeners?
No problem. Yeah, Robert Hisee, the UK's #1 unconscious mind therapist. That's what I am. I'm in South London. Yeah, so what would you like me to talk about, boys?
You know what? I think you said unconscious mind therapist. Some people might not know exactly what that is.
Right,
Yeah, even for the sake of us as well. Obviously, we're massively into, I suppose, that remit, that remit of things. But even for us, mate, educate us in terms of what that is, what it encompasses, and what you do, man.
Right. Okay. So, a lot of you guys might have like deal with therapy, CBT, psychotherapy, counselling, that sort of shit. But they'll look at the content of the problem. I work differently. I don't really give a fuck much about the content. I care about the process to thought. So the difference is the reason why someone's depressed could be a million different things. You could lose your job and your wife's left you. Your dad could have died. You know, someone could have lost a leg in a car crash and you can't stop thinking. Whatever it is, you feel depressed. If you can't see a future, that's what depression is. When your thoughts go from here and now in the moment to the past on a loop, more than, 70%, I'd say 60-70% in that direction, you're going to start feeling depressed. Anxiety is taking a bad past experience and throwing it in the future. I don't care what it is. If you've been stabbed on the bus, next time you're going to get on a bus, you remember the last learning that you learned in the past and you throw it in the future. I mean, you can watch things on telly. Like, I remember 9 happening. And when I flew the next time, I was on the plane like this, paranoid as anything, thinking someone's going to get up and start jumping me up and I'm going to crash the plane. So it never happened to me, but because I learned it, I took an experience of what I learned from the past and I threw it in my mind in the future, seeing it happening in another shape or form. That's what anxiety is. The successful mindset to entrepreneurs, motivational people, winners, world champions, is when your thoughts stay predominantly here and now to the future, creating future goals and topping them up with another one. And, the more we create the future. So therapists always look at the past. Yeah. So if you was to go to a therapist about depression and you talk about depression for the next 6 weeks, are you going to feel happy? You can't focus on drugs and become clean. You can't focus on fat and become thin. You can't focus on anxiety and become confident. It's impossible. So, you're training your neural pathways then to start wiring and firing together to think more consistently about what you're putting your focus on. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'll go into later about the reticular activating system. I'll teach about it later on. Yeah. But for now, so unconscious mind therapy is more looking at removing the feelings. I do have to hear what you've got to say. And I do care about how people feel and what they think to a level, but in my work, it don't really matter what you think. So if you've got anxiety, for instance, what caused the anxiety? That's what I care about. I want to go back to the beginning, and you might not even be sure where it's come from, but with my techniques, I can go into the unconscious and discover where the feelings are from and then work with that. Anxiety, I don't give a about anxiety. Anxiety is the effect of the problem. Yeah, anxiety is the effect. You can't treat that. Keep talking about anxiety. It's like if you cut your hand and it started to bleed on that table, and treating anxiety is just like wiping up the blood and suspecting it not to drip again in another couple of minutes.
That's a good analogy. That's a really good analogy.
You've got to stitch the fucking cut up. Then it starts bleeding. So this is what, like, a lot of therapists, and I mean, I feel sorry for a lot of therapists because I'd say they get into it for the right reasons. And I get a lot of psychotherapists come to me and train with me because they can't help trauma. They can do like addiction and things. They help people, and it's all over long 2-year periods.
Sure.
They've got to have therapy every month because they're focusing on trauma every week. Now, therapists, to me, the average therapist deals with, they quit mental health. They don't deal with mental health. They deal with ill mental health, if you like, yeah? It's like you're talking about, if you're talking about anxiety, depression, self-harming, suicide every week, what's healthy about it?
Yeah.
So I said to a therapist before, why are you calling it mental health when it's not mental health, it's mental ill health? And they went, oh, because, it sounds more positive. Well, now you're lying to them. It's like you lie to them and make them think they're focused on their health. They're not doing anything healthy. Isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
So the health is here and now to the future shit. When they come out of my practice, people are smiling. You go to a psychotherapist, they come out crying. And they'll say stupid things like, she's really good, she is. I go, really good. And I go, why is she good? Well, because she made me understand why I'm so f***ed up. I go, oh, okay, well, enlighten me. Well, when I was a little girl, my dad used to like not show me much love, and then when I got my boyfriend, and I was attracted to him, but he'd womanize, and I won't care because of the trauma I went through. And I sit listen to this for an hour, and I go, why is she good? Because I really understand why I'm fucked up, and I think, oh, well, that's helped you, because now you're smiling that you understand why you're fucked. So next time your next boyfriend does anything, you go, well, sorry for being such a, can't say it, sorry for being such a mug, sorry for being such a, because if it wasn't for my fucking dad doing this and my mum doing that and this happening to me, this is why I'm such a bitch. Ain't my fault. Do you know what I mean? It's
so true. Yeah, it's so bang on, isn't it?
What are you fucking on about? I mean, now you're smiling that you're fucked up because you can blame someone else. You want to blame and shame others, right?
Wow.
So I don't really give a fuck about the causes. It's more about I'm good at, it's hard to explain on the air unconscious mind fair. It's a bit hypnosis-y, and there's a little like Darren Brownie sort of stuff. If you used to look at you, think what the f doing, but then people's feeling goes. Yeah, I lose the feeling. I've done a phobia cure this morning on a boy's dad's panicking. Brought him to see me flying. Boom, it was done within about literally, I say 15 minutes.
Can you tell us what the phobia was? And
the phobia was just a flying one. It's easy.
Oh, scared of flying.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Fine.
So who's scared of anything? I've got worries about little things.
No,
I'm nervous
nothing.
about.
There is
Nervous about. So
nervous.
it ain't gotta be.
Nervous about dying in general. I used to be terrified as a kid.
Yeah.
I kind of grew out of it, but it's still always a little niggle in the back of my head thinking,
I'm scared of how I die.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of dying.
That's the same. I'm rather. I don't mind dying.
I want to go in my sleep.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want to get in by a fucking shark.
I don't want to go. I don't want to go.
I'm not scared of actually dying.
That's a bit deep. That one. I'm thinking about.
I can't help you, mate. You're
Yeah, I'm not with you. No, the fear of dying's a funny one because no one wants to fucking die, do they? So it ain't I wouldn't say, everyone's going to not want to die. But I mean, what have you got anything that causes you? Snakes, right?
Yeah,
Scared of snakes?
I mean, I wouldn't want to go near one. To be honest,
I bet one. Who's got like a memory that makes them feel a little bit sad? Don't want you to start crying something really traumatic, but saying that you feel a little bit low on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I've got one. No, you
no, I won't talk about it. But
he's going to talk about it because when I was a little boy,
my one's gonna.
years and that's what I was like.
that's what I'm talking.
Yeah. So, no, but
Has anyone got anything they want to share? I'm scared.
don't worry. Don't have to tell me what it is, right?
Go on.
So this thing, if you was like close your eyes and think about it, does it make you feel a little bit sad if you used to think of it now?
Yeah, good. Yeah, probably.
Is there a vision to it? Obviously, where you was at the time when you found
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right. So close your eyes for a second. Yeah,
Right,
just for a second. When you see, imagine you're in a cinema looking on a screen, right?
Yeah.
And as you sit on the front seat looking at the cinema on the screen, and play that as a little video now. How does it make you feel? 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, like being sad, if it's sad or if it whatever it is, panic or whatever.
Makes me angry.
Makes you angry.
Yeah.
One to what?
Cool. Good 8 or 9.
Good 8 or 9. Right. Me, I've opened a tin of worms here. Right. So listen, what you need to do is just float along 5 seats. Yeah. Turn the screen to black and white. Now I want you to look at yourself, looking at the screen in black and white. How does it feel now? 1 to 10. You were at 8 a minute ago. Where are we at?
Yeah, maybe about a 6 or 7.
Right, now float up 5 seats. Look down at yourself. Look across at yourself. Looking at the screen. What are we at now?
I feel calmer.
All right, now float up to the projector booth. Looking down at yourself. Looking down at yourself. Look across at yourself. Looking at the screen in black and white.
Yeah, it feels irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I won't do the full session here, but I'll charge you 400 quid. So, you're going to have to finish it now. You started saying, open your eyes.
Yeah.
That was just an experiment to show you what I wanted to show you there was how to disassociate, yeah? So the human mind can only think how you feel. There's never been a human being in 2 million years while experiencing the emotion of sadness who can make a happy thought, right? If you feel sad, you make sad thoughts. When he felt angry, you can see his face like blood changing his face. You can see it, yeah? If you feel anxious, people's arms start to sweat. So you can only think how you feel. If you feel sad, you make sad thoughts. If you feel anxious, your brain checks in the body and goes, you're making, you feel anxious right now. You make correspondent thoughts. My girlfriend's cheating. I'm going to die. I've got a brain tumor. Whatever the it is, right? So you can only think how you feel. That is my biggest learning, guys. Fuck what you think. You're governed by the unconscious. Your unconscious is the emotion. And if you feel sad, you're making them thoughts. If you walk into an environment feeling unconfident, you ain't going to do a good job. Simple, right?
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
So you got to program the emotion prior to the event, which goes through visualization later. But what I wanted to show you what I've done to you is then we disassociated you from the emotion. So if I have this is an extreme case what I'm going to talk about now. Imagine a girl's been raped, right?
Yeah.
This is psychotherapy, how it is, right? So the girl's been, she's obviously in trauma.
Can we say grape? I can cut it out, but going forward, just say grape because YouTube has got an algorithm. You say that word in it.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's fine. We can block the first 2 out. It's fine. We'll bleep the
Can I
word.
just go and put it up or not? Right? Graped.
Yeah, great. Yeah, great.
Right, okay. So edit this in, yeah?
Yeah, go for it.
Right.
Sick.
So, well,
So she's been,
Sorry,
the
man.
girl's been graped.
all right, so we've got to say grapes. Right? So, right, I'm getting me head around it. So this girl's been graped, right?
Yeah.
It's a really extreme case. So imagine she's just been graped and she's come home and she's in bits, you know, she's going through trauma. The mum can't keep up with it anymore. She can't go out the house. She's petrified. She's anxious. She feels dirty. She feels, you know, all this bad traumatic stuff that these young ladies have to go through when something bad happens. So she goes to a psychotherapist. Mum's got to take her to a professional, right? So now the psychotherapist sits her down and goes, okay. No rapport, crosses his leg with his pen and paper and his glasses down. So tell me about it. So now she's got to relive the experience to tell the therapist. Now, I know she's got to do that with every therapist. That's fair enough, right? But when she thinks about it, she'll have a neuroassociation to what she's talking about. The trauma is going to come over. Every time she talks about it, a very vivid image is going to be in her mind of what was happening in the experience. So the unconscious mind doesn't know what's real and what isn't. You know, like if you have a nightmare or if you have a good dream. One, you feel great. One, you feel in sleep. Nothing's going on, really, is it? You're in darkness. But the experience you feel internally is the same as if
It feels very
externally.
real. Yeah.
So you've got to understand that the unconscious doesn't know what you see through your three-dimensional eyes or what you see in your imagination. It don't know what you see to be true or what you imagine to be true. It ain't got a fucking clue. It just gives you the emotional connection. So every time she talks about the experience, she accesses the memory. The memory has a vision and an association from the trauma of the day and brings it back into the here and now. So every time she thinks about the event, she's feeling traumatic, right? She's crying. So then she goes home and she comes the next week. By the third week, she's having panic attacks about seeing the therapist because she knows she's got to relive the her mind again.
Every time, yeah.
Third time lucky. Now she's thinking about the before she gets there to talk about it. Now she's fucking in bits. So she walks into the therapist, crying, and she weren't going to come without a tracker. There's some tablets. They dose her up, not a little bit, because she's really minute in a mental state. So they dose her up with these tablets, high doses of antidepressants. She comes in next week like one flew over the cuckoo's nest, like, look, hello, doctor. They're like, I've seen them, right? They're like this. Yeah. And they talk about the got no emotion. She's like, she's dead, right? She's got no emotion. So now they've drugged her out of her head, right? She can't talk about the feeling so traumatic. So they drug the out of her, bring her back and make her talk about it again for another 6 weeks. I mean, if that ain't insanity,
It's crazy.
You put it in black and white like that, yeah.
So what I'll do is, like you just see there, everyone at home just see that, this association from her emotions first. You can only think how you feel. How can I work with this girl? She comes in here, talks about the trauma. How can I do my job? I can sit and brag and say, yes, you know, you've got to stop thinking about it. Well, I think she knows stuff. I don't think she wants to think about it. Do you know what I mean? So then you drug her up so she can't feel anything and she's like a zombie and she goes through the experience again. It's insanity. So what I would do is, if anyone in trauma would first of all have to disassociate them to remove the feeling. And I've honestly had cases where people have just got back and I didn't do anything. So I go, what do you think? And they go, there's nothing she could do. I'm like, calm, like nothing she could do. It's like, ain't even her fault. I could have told her that a million times, but the mind can only think how you feel. So whenever she thinks about it, she accesses trauma. She's in the state of being attacked all the time. So when you get her out of it, sometimes a few words can just change because the emotion now can wire to the brain and go, oh, that releases it. Let's stop thinking about it now. Generally, there is a lot of work I have to do as well. But so as a phobia would go, what I would do with what I just done with you is, or some trauma I'd taken back, I'd think of a good memory one side, a good memory the other side. So meaning a good memory prior to that bad thing when you was angry, and a good memory after that experience where you was happy. Could have been on holiday with Nan and Granddad as a kid. You could be in Ibiza with the boys after that event, yeah? And then what I would do is flash really fast through their mind backwards. Ibiza, anger, the event, Nan and Granddad, bang, 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 bang. Keep going through it 10, 20 times. Yeah, drop them into the next seat and I would start to reassociate them. But what I'm doing is I'm collapsing the emotion in the middle, collapsing the anchor, yeah? Collapsing the association. So when they go down, they still... So at first, you remember at the beginning you was at 8, at the top you was probably a 1 or something, yeah? So when I collapse the anchor there and put you in a seat down, Well, yeah, I'm still at a 1. Claps, 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 claps. Move you to the front seat. Now you're at the front seat. You're at a 1. Do you get what I'm going with it? Then I throw you in. Then I think of a silly song which sounds mad. It could be like Mr. Blobby or, you know, anything, right? And it's a mad sort of song, a birdie song or something. I would get them to tell me because it's got to be their association. So an unconscious association of a silly song. Think of a silly song. Think of a silly song.
Sweet Carolina.
Sweet Caroline. Think silly song. Silly song. Come on, boys. What do you think?
Crazy Frog.
Crazy Frog. Yeah. Crazy Frog. These two, right? Anyone?
The Wheels on the Bus.
So Wheels on the Bus. So you're all stupid songs, yeah? The reason why this is at an unconscious level, if I program that association to the new vision getting claps as well, the human mind can't find something scary or bad that's stupid, silly or ridiculous. So I sort of take that feeling and put that feeling in the potion as well. Does that make sense? It's at an unconscious level. I'm rewiring your mind, if you like, yeah?
Yeah.
So I take this silly association. So now I play. So when he's visualising now, he's going right before or after thinking it, then I jump him in the screen. So now he's seeing it through his eyes. He's seeing Ibiza, the event, Nan and Grandad, going back, blank the screen, all three, really fast. Crunchy Frog's fucking flying, whatever it's called. That frog song, what's it called? Crazy Frog, Crunchy Frog. Right, there's a pub in Bermondsey years ago called the Crunchy Frog. So anyway, right, so it claps in, bang, 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 bang. And then at the end of it, I go to him now, try to bring the feeling back. Think of getting on a plane. Think of that anger. People sit there and go, I go, now really try to bring it back. I'm not like another therapist that go, try not to think about it, you know, you've got better things. I'm going, go on, bring it back. Really try hard. And they sit there and go, try harder. And then I can see they're not finding it because their face ain't going like it was at the 8, yeah? And then I'll be saying, you know, the harder you look for it, the harder it is to find, right? They go, yeah. I go, yeah, go, clever. And they go, and they sit there like that. And I do swear a lot. Sorry, boys.
That's
You
cool.
might-
That's
all right,
But the thing is, I get clients sometimes over the years going, oh, you know, oh, you swear. And I think, they don't like me. God, if I don't need your help. You need my help. I'm sweet. I'm happy swearing. That's what I do. I've got ADHD. I'm dyslexic. Fucking changing for you. You know what I mean?
It's so true.
You've got a problem.
Is there any
Fuck off.
is there any misconceptions or misunderstandings about the sector you're in though? Like I know, for example, like just when people look at it, is there any like misconceptions around it? Like how is it portrayed when you kind of speak to people about it? Because I can't imagine for me that'd be the first thing on my mind to do. For example, if that makes sense, I wasn't conscious about this kind of.
You wouldn't know that stuff. It doesn't exist over here. I trained with all the Americans. It is over here. I'm lying. You've got neuro-linguistic programming. You get a lot of people that learn that. There is a little bit over here. If you look at the Speakmans, a big therapist on ITV, it's the unconscious mind stuff that works. They do all their psychotherapy, ask a load of questions, you know, do the analysis, and they're good at analysing. See, psychotherapy, I don't run it down completely because it's very good at analysing, yeah? And it's good for certain understanding thought processes. It has got its great stuff, yeah? But when it comes to anxiety, depression, and successful mindset, it's not worth two bob, yeah? But when it comes to analysing, you know, like in a killer's next move, a criminal psychology, like how people think, patterns of behaviour. It's amazing, like, you know, it really is. Yeah. You can see someone's been diagnosed with something, you have a therapist that's knows exactly how that person's really thinking. But it doesn't give them the cure. You could teach someone to understand why they're up, and it ain't going to change it to a lot of people. So it's going to have a very limited amount. Does that make sense?
So why do you feel like this is not a far more widespread common practice in terms of therapy?
It's new and it ain't governed. My therapy, myself, unconscious mind therapy is it's mine. Yeah. So I've learned different. I went and studied Buddhism. I got like there, Nichiren Buddhism. Studied all different types of meditations, different Buddhisms to see what meditation was about. I've done all different sorts of hypnotherapy. I've done trance work. NLP. There's loads of like unconscious mind therapies that I've been in, and one of the good things is in NLP. The best thing is modeling, teaching you how to model the mind through the 5 senses. So then I go out and learn all these things, and I look what the elite people are doing. Why is he getting a good result every time and that one ain't? What did he do to cure his phobia, and what he done? He took 6 months, he took 5 years, he's been 32 years, now he's cool. What did they all do the same? Because the process to recovery would be the same. So that's what that thing I've done then. I had to collapse anchors is what really happens if it takes you years to get over something or minutes. It makes no difference. The brain doesn't understand time, it just understands patterns.
Wow, so true, yeah.
Sense.
Robert, what led you to kind of go down this path of this profession? Because again, it's you know so much. I appreciate you've obviously done meditation, you've learned a lot, but kind of where did it kind of start for you? Was it from a young age? Was you?
No, I was. No, I see my first stab at 11, first shooting at 15.
Oh wow!
I was brought up in South London, Bermondsey, very poor estate. I don't know if you've seen the film Nil by Mouth. You've seen that? Gary Oldman made it. It's a real good film. It's worth a watch, boys. That was the estate I was brought up on. It's knocked down now. Like near the new den, but it got the new Bonamy, it was the old Bonamy. So I brought up in around now, dyslexic, ADHD. There wasn't no such thing as ADHD. I left school at 14, and by the age of 12, 14, they only discovered ADHD. So I was in my school, there wasn't going to be no help for that, you know. And my school closed down at 14, put me into another school. I couldn't handle it. So, you know, I left school at 14, I was working. So I'm dyslexic, ADHD, you know, thought I was thick, stupid. I could play guitar because my dad made me play the guitar because I love my music. And, you know, I kept that up. Because my dad always said, you got to do an hour a day before you can go out. If I didn't want to go to school, you got to practice, because he thought in them days there was pubs in bands. It was before you had licenses, 5, 6 band members, fucking pub, and it used to be good. Yeah. But then the laws changed because sound pollution and all this stuff. And then they stopped the bands. It was one singer and all that karaoke shit. So, but he taught me if I'd always earn a living. Yeah, if I was playing the guitar, I'd always get a living. So I kept practicing that. But from there, I didn't, you know, it was so I got up to bits and pieces, bad things, you know. Yeah, it's time to stop myself saying stuff on it.
No, you're right. So you want
all sorts of things when we were young. You know, so I'm definitely not a candidate to be a therapist. You can listen to the way I speak, and people go, well, if I meet anyone, go, what do I do? No one says therapist. No way. You know what I mean? They probably think he's drug dealer. Drug dealer. Like, how's he doing this well? So, you know, it's that sort of thing. So I don't, it's not normal for me to be in this position. So how I got into it was, it ain't no heroic story. Like people think I'm going to go, I want to save the world. You know, it wasn't that. I couldn't go about anyone else at the time, right? I was poor, dyslexic, and I managed to get through life building a million different jobs, trade, plastering, you name it. And then I got into sales, yeah? Cutting it short. I was really good at it. First psychology was sales tapes, Zig Ziglar, and old Texan guys into my car when I was out selling, right? And I went and worked for the Germans. I got headhunted by Germans, doing good at sales, working for Germany. And the CEO, this is how I come across the neuro-linguistic program in NLP. This guy was with the mind. I should go out and watch him in meetings and think, how does he get him to do that? I remember like in one meeting, like he'd be speaking, he'd take me out with him. This is the CEO would come out at me, train me. So I mean, he was a great man, German geezer, Thilo Weinemann. And I was sitting there, and one day in this meeting, when it's one of my top clients, and all 4 of them was like Darren Brown show. All of them just went at the same time. Imagine all you guys now just all going. And I'm thinking, what is he doing? I'm sitting there. What's he doing? Like, it was like, nah, the geezer was a genius, right? So I finally be like him, because to me, I wanted to learn the mind. I used to watch Darren Brown. I used to tap my fingers and make people give him money and all that.
Love him, man.
I come from poverty. I had nothing. I had a little boy now. I'm thinking, I want my kids to have what I never had. I want to take him to America. I want to take him to Disney. I want to do all this I never had. I want him to have it all, yeah? I never had nice holidays. So I wanted to get into it in bad intention, just to manipulate people in sales. So I was thinking my sales are good, but they could be even better. Do you know what I mean? I ain't going to lie.
Manipulate the sales.
Yeah, I wanted to manipulate people to get more sales. That was it. And I had a good product. So it wasn't like I was trying to do anything bad. The products were good. If I was trying to make them sell a better product, good luck. But, you know, I did. I started learning all these techniques, and I got into it for that reason. Right? I want to be like that, and I just wanted to earn more money. So when I got my bonus money at the end of the year, that was my money to take my boy to America or whatever I wanted to do.
Yeah, lovely, fair.
So I got into it because of that, and then I've done my first diploma course, yeah, in the Cotswolds, and they'd done something about reading and writing technique, mate, and it blew me away. I remember getting like, it made me realise that I ain't stupid. So at first I was like. Yes, I was buzzing. I just spelt out procrastination forward and backwards within about 3 minutes. I couldn't believe I'd done it. And then all of a sudden, I got angry because I thought when I was at school, the teacher said I'd be nothing, I'm stupid, I'm thick. It was a weird little emotional thing. And then I started learning about the mind. I didn't realise I went in there for that, but you had to learn about it. And the only way you can learn unconscious stuff is actually do it on people yourself and do it on yourself. So I was unwrapping my brain with all these fucking things getting pulled about. And literally after that one long weekend on a little diploma course in it, I was hooked. Then I just thought, fuck this. And then it wasn't for nothing other reason about it was just interest and, you know, personal growth. And I just got addicted, and I've done my practitioner, I've done my master practitioner. And when I went in there, I'd been in a classroom since I was 14, and I'm sitting at the back of the class, nervous. It's a middle class thing, especially back then. There was no boys are talking. No one spoke about anxiety and mental health back then, right?
Yeah, it's different times.
I'm sitting back at the classroom, all these middle, yes, you know, my daughter's just going to uni and all this shit. I can't even speak properly. I'm thinking, fucking hell, I can't read. I can't read. All. They give me this book. I'm thinking, what is that? Neuro-linguistic programming. I can't spell that. I'm looking at it thinking, what's going on? So I'm sitting there feeling right in my comfort zone. And I was really a slow learner because I am dyslexic, yeah? But I got it. And I've become obsessed. And with ADHD, you can't focus. When you find things that you like, you hyper-focus. So now I was like hyper-focusing. I was like coming home watching YouTube videos at 4 in the morning, 4 in the gip, getting up, going to work. Coming home, I'm like, I better tonight, put the YouTube on, bang, I'll be learning it, other stuff. I was just obsessed with it. I just fell in love with it. And then, cut it short, I worked with a guy called Robert Dilts, come over from the States, one of the big people at the front in NLP. He's from Santa Fe, California. And one day he stripped me back with these questions. He went, what do you want? I went, money. And what do you want to do? I want to buy a big house. Then what do you want? I want a swimming pool. Then what would you do? If you could have anything you want, well, then I'd have fucking my kids' private school. Then what would you have? Another house in Australia, another house in California, and like Rolexes. And he just kept stripping me back. Then what would make you happy? Then what would make you happy? Then what would make you happy? And I kept getting in there and I'm thinking, winding me up. Right? I felt like crumbing him. I thought, he's fucking driving me mad. Right? Getting right annoyed. So, and all of a sudden, right, he's got me back to a place. He's got me back to a place where I had to sit there, strip myself back. I had everything. Now what would make you happy at source level? And I was like, and it was deep. Like, I really, for that moment, lucky I just went inside myself and deeply looked and thought, I like making other people happy. Reason being, I had so much low self-worth as a kid. If I see anyone feeling, I feel sorry for them. I hate people that feel sad, weak like I did, and embarrassed and shameful, and not have the nice clothes. Like, all that. I hate all that. I hate people to, and I realised that what I like to do is make people laugh. I took a piss out myself to see someone smile. I've done it loads of times. Come out of a club when I was young, give someone homeless on the street my last call, and I walk back to Bermondsey. Yeah, the time I get to the Elephant and Castle, I'm thinking, Div, what you done that before? Oh, fuck you, your kid puts it down the rain. He's out there anyway. But you know, the fault was there. But it's true, isn't it? It's no fucking bad. But when you're suffering, you think, well, I'll do that for you. But no, but, you know, that is my first instinct is to always put other people first, you know.
That's brilliant.
He's out there anyway.
I think you see, it's like giving it to yourself, then you drench wet. But no, the truth of the matter is I always put other people before myself.
Yeah, nice.
Sometimes it's a good thing in business, it's not a good thing. I suffer a lot from business and things over the years because I'll always think of someone else and what about they feel.
Yeah, I literally only see a video yesterday, I saved it and it said, I can't remember who it was talking now. I might have sent it to the I don't know if I put it in the chat or not. And it basically said that be humble, but don't be too humble. When it comes to people, don't give too much of yourself away. Don't give too much of yourself away in business and things like that to the point where people feel as though they can take the piss out of you, or they go, we can get away with that because it's him. We can do that because it's him. He'll let that go. Do you know what I mean? Because that's where you sort of get walked over and a little bit of stuff like that. So it's like, we're all for being humble. It said, so it kind of triggered in me a little bit. Don't be too humble. Don't be to the point where people can take the piss out of you. Do you know what I mean?
Kindness or weakness,
basically, bro. Yeah.
My old man used to say that to me all the time. Is that you can't do business with this. He's like, you got to do it with this. Otherwise, people will take you for a ride. And I've seen it as well. Like I've got a business, and like I won't go into detail, but my chef, like, he turned out to be a bit of a numpty. He was doing some like behind closed doors that we found out. This is like right in the beginning, and we done a lot for the guy. What's going on, guys? Just want to quickly interrupt the pod to ask for a small favor. If you guys can hit that subscribe button, it would do us a solid. Let's get back to the pod. Like, he came from Spain. Like, we helped him get a house. We helped him like rent a gaff. Like, we was helping him in so many ways. But then he just done us over in the end. Worked no notice and just left. And I was just thinking, well, we literally done so much for you. How could you do that to us? But people just like take you for a ride sometimes.
But what I want to say to your boys is that don't generalise, because what can happen is you can experience like that.
Yeah.
Then you can meet a feeling person who would need that, and you'd be cold to them now because you've been hurt once.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard. Life's so hard because some people are from the heart, think from the heart. It's in Myers-Briggs type indicates, one of the oldest psychologists in the world, as personality types. People either make their choices through feeling or thinking.
Yeah.
Four of us here, one of us will be different. Yeah. I make mine by feeling, but I have to learn to put things in place.
Yeah.
So I don't deal with that and go, that's I put systems in place so the computer says no, sort of thing. Then ain't me saying it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or sorry, I can't do that because the company says this or whatever. And I try to find ways around it. But you're either a thinker or a feeler. That's how you're going to make your choices. So what you're talking about, both of you heard of the law of polarity, yeah? You heard of that?
I haven't.
It's one of the laws of the universe. There's 12 laws of the universe. So you can't have a blackfish without a whitefish.
Right,
We'll
okay,
be able to
understood,
tell
yeah.
the difference. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't have
Good without bad, and I'm with you.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like yin and yang. Yeah,
okay.
So what you got to remember in life is don't generalize. Generalization, the brain loves to generalize because we've got filters in our mind that makes it easier for us to deal with our life. But we make generalizations like fucking anger's bad. I've heard people go, psychotherapists go, anger has no emotion, the only emotion in the world that, you know, shouldn't exist. I know that. See, Gandhi beat the British Empire, right, because he got angry, right? The people don't realise he was a solicitor. He was in a suit. He wasn't wearing. The people think when they think of Gandhi, they think of him flip-flops and these clothes, these white sheets, right? He was a wealthy man. He had an easy little life. The British Empire started taking the piss, taking over, and he got angry, right? And it was good that he got angry, but he didn't fight with aggression. He fought with love. But if he was too passive, yeah, like you were saying, if he was too passive, he wouldn't have got angry. Yeah,
He channeled it.
so he wouldn't have done anything. He'd been too scared. He wouldn't have made any effort because, someone would do something. If he had to get angry to then stand up
React.
and fight, but he fought with
Yeah,
love.
right,
There's a
that's it.
difference. An eye for an eye leaves the old world blind, he said. A beautiful man. And, you know, you should watch the film if you've not seen it. Ben Kingsley, great actor, but you get to see the mindset behind the guy. And he beat the old British Empire by, you know, standing up and not fighting back and fighting with love. So what I'm trying to say is you can win a war with love. Don't generalise it. You've got to be angry, you know.
I think the world needs more of it, man. I know it sounds corny, and like I hear everyone say it. Like even Elon Musk says it, Joe Rogan says it. He goes, "It might sound corny, but the world needs a hell of a lot more love in it than it does than what it's got at the minute, because it's just hate and discrimination and putting people down and segregating people into
Boxes.
boxes. Exactly that they shouldn't be in. Do you know what I mean? It's just like I feel as though people, like, the world is trying to make individuality such a thing to the point where people feel like, which is already happening, they don't need other people. They don't need companionship, brotherhood, friends, sisters,
100%.
family. Like they want to isolate people to the point where they don't have that, so that there's no units anymore.
True.
there ain't no units around, and it's horrible.
Well, people are stronger in numbers.
Of course
right?
they
I
are.
suppose that's what they
Mate,
want,
humans
which is what
are
they require, so-
we're what's the word I'm looking for? Not for what of a better
Packed
word.
animal.
Packed
I was about
animal.
to say
We want
hunting
community.
Yeah.
We want community. Like back in the day, what was you telling us? What was you talking about the other day?
But the chimps.
No.
Where's
Where's
the chimp story with this guy?
No,
I told you I wanted
there's a phenomenal. He's talking about the phenomenal chimp documentary on Netflix at the minute. Phenomenal.
Unbelievable.
Is
Like,
it? What's it called?
Chimps.
It's literally just called. I think it's just called
called
chimps.
Chimps.
Yeah, it is.
I'll watch it later.
It shows you how
Incredible,
they're
mate.
they're identical to humans. They walk in packs. They control their whole ground.
Have their own jobs. They have a
insane.
community hierarchy.
Right hand man.
How they could. So basically, when they see them picking each other and stuff like that, that's like us for what we're doing. Well, us five what we're doing right now. That's their level of
Oh, wow.
conversation.
And if I don't do it back to you, that means I don't respect you, and,
No
and
way.
I'm the one in charge.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
I'm watching that.
crazy.
It's insane.
Blew my mind. You'd love it because it's all about how they operate.
And like they're effectively operating, and they don't talk. Like they're not talking,
Yeah, but
and yet they all have their own jobs. They know exactly what they mean. Like they have to go and protect the camp at one point. You see them brush past, they go as if say,
And they all round up
going,
together
let's
and they go
go.
do the whole territory, make sure no one's on their land. They do it like
That's
a
insane.
spot checks.
Crazy.
Oh, it's incredible, mate.
talking is about like 15-20% of language anyway. The
Yeah.
rest of it is literally body language, tone, and what you say.
30% is tone. Like you can go, open the door, or open the door. Like one's emphasising on the opening.
That's so true, yeah.
And one's saying the door,
So
not the window,
true.
you mug. So, there are two
Open
different
the
emphases.
door.
So you can say, or even open the
Open.
door. It's a different emphasis than where you're directing
so
the
true.
action. So synesthesia, you heard of magic mushrooms, right? When
Yeah,
you
of
trip
course.
out, you get synesthesia. Synesthesia is when you send up, so you can hear colours and see sounds, and it's quite fun if you've ever done it. But
I've heard it's really good.
but what's it? If you think about the human language, synesthesia is just what language is. You're putting a mad sound to a vision, and then you know what I'm talking about. If you went and spoke to someone in Japan, they got fucking your own window. They go, what?
I'll tell you what, like, any
Synesthesia.
country and language you go to in the world, and you go, wait, off. They know exactly what you mean.
Well, Anthony Robbins, you know Tony Robbins, a big life.
Yeah.
He don't swear. You never see him swear on telly. But if you watch him in a cinema, he's like, he goes right into one. Right, he's always mother. And he goes. The reason why he swears when he's doing a seminar is because it's like an international language of demanding focus. So if you're in a pub and there's all people talking, you, if someone goes, fuck off, the whole pub goes,
That's
doesn't it?
So true.
It's like your brain just goes, whoa, look. So it doesn't matter where you're from in the world, you look round when you hear someone swear.
Yeah.
You don't hear nothing. Do you?
it's just mad conversation, isn't it?
God, and all the next thing you know, everyone's on it, right? It's just a thing that our brain just focuses on because we know something probably dramatic or it could be dangerous, I don't know. But we seem to focus to it. So swearing's good, so that's why I swear, really. That's not that I can't stop. But.
Going back about the mushrooms thing, they reckon that's how
I was about to... Go on, brother.
There's a theory that how we learned how to speak is from magic mushrooms.
Oh, okay.
So there was apes or monkeys, whatever it was, or chimps.
Following a cow.
Following a cow, he took a shit, and they found the spores in the shit with the cow had been eating. They ate them.
Yeah.
And then they tripped out mad, and then they started talking with their mouths. And do you know what I'm saying?
And that's synesthesia. That's
Yeah.
what they start.
Yeah.
It's synesthesia. But what the thing is, when you talk about that, what is the religion? Is it Hindu when they worship cows?
Yeah.
Think about it. When you take mushrooms, you have a spiritual experience, isn't you? It ain't a thing you do to get out your nut. And people do, but it's not a good thing. If you look for 3,000 years before Christ, we can prove that people took magic mushrooms to have spiritual experiences. So my theory is, I wonder somewhere along the line, was it the cow, the mushroom, and the association?
Yeah.
But, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
I've got a
If
question on
anyone
this.
I'm listening.
I've got a
It's
question
just
on
a
this.
fear-
So I was reading, I was like listening to another theory, them say, well, it being said that if magic mushrooms is microdosed and used properly, it could be a way of form to help with depression, anxiety, and certain like problems that people face. And it could blow out like pharmaceutical companies out of the water, and there'll be no need for them. Do you think that's true? Or
Say that again, sorry.
so like
Magic mushroom.
yeah,
for depression.
yeah, so like
it does.
microdosing, it could potentially help
Go on,
unlock
Ted,
certain minds.
$1,000,000%.
Yeah, and I think
I had a microdose yesterday, first one in ages.
really.
Yeah,
I microdose as well.
It's great, mate.
What are your magic mushrooms?
Yeah.
What's the brand? I use Magic Dinosaurs.
No, I can't. No, I'll just do my own, mate.
All right. See, I actually buy them and capture them.
Get a little box.
Oh, right, okay.
Get them online. Little box,
But this is what they say though. They try to pass it off as if like it's a class A drug, to demonise people against it.
Why? Because I've seen nutters, pals of mine who have gone mad on mushrooms and they're a bit fucked.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong. Anything with too much will fuck your
Yeah,
brain.
100%.
I do think it should be governed. If you want to look at it through the government, I get why it's got to be governed, but that's fine. If you're taking so some idiot could put 8 grams of mushroom in someone's tea and give it to them for a joke, and then they're going to be in trouble, wouldn't they?
Yeah, that's right.
And some people don't come back, man. They get into that zone, they see things, the brain repeats it so many times. Babies coming through a wall, all of a sudden you come round and you're still seeing babies coming through the wall because you built new neural connections and so you've got to be. It's
dangerous. Yeah, it's dangerous. Yeah.
But microdosing in a control, like 1 or 2 grams, you get a bit wavy and things move. That's cool. If you have like little 0.2 of a gram, you don't even notice. Right. The thing is, you can microdose so small. You can figure it out yourself. That's what I like to do, and figure it out. So when I do it, I don't notice anything. I don't want to go because even if it's like a lot of these people selling them, they do them at 0.5. So you're going to get wavy. You're going to get micro synesthesia. You'll be at work and your fingers might not feel like moving as good enough. You're not out your nut, but you can notice the difference. Yeah. You don't want to be like that. You know what I mean? So you want to take it even down a little bit lower. Because it's not about why microdosing is so good. You've got neuroplasticity in the brain, yeah. So say up to the age of 14 or whatever, we wire our brain a lot. So our habits and the way we have associations of emotion for things, a lot of it does anchor from our childhood. So what happens is, if this line here was your neuroplasticity, well, it puts it all asleep. So like as you get older, for instance. If you walk into your mate's house, when you're like 4 years old, you go around someone's house with your dad, or 6 years old, and you walk in their house and you look at the pictures and they've got football players up there. You notice everything. You're very curious and ambitious and excited about life, right? Time you get to 30, you walk in someone's house, where are we going to sit? You don't know. Cool.
So true.
You just look where to sit, right? And then you sit down. You don't notice thoughts on their walls. You end up just talking, and that's what we do. We become creatures of habit. So what it does, with anxiety, we have an emotion connected to the image, yeah? So when you shut down these connections, it puts them asleep. So what your brain does automatically is fire new ones. It wires new connections in your brain why the mushroom puts the old ones to sleep. So that's why when you go out for 4 weeks, they say a microdose, you should do it for 4 weeks. Well, that's what it takes to build a new neural pathways. So you can actually rewire your brain at seeing the same things with no anxiety attached to them. And now your brain wires that, and you don't give a about it anymore. And you can get very creative, and your ambition comes back like, well, you know what, I really want to do that. There's some amount of millionaires that are getting made from people microdosing. Depression, 1 tablet for a month. Yeah, it's better. There's no drug on the market. I watched every study. I ain't talking about magic mushrooms like I'm an idiot. I watch documentaries of ADHD, so I get into something, I know everything there is about it. Yeah, I just watch every fucking TED Talks, yeah? Go on TED Talks and watch them. These are top professors and doctors all around the world. Some of them have been studying hallucinogenics for like 30 years. Watch the results they're getting on microdosing. It's phenomenal, like, it really is. And the changes it's making to people's lives. But the thing is, you say magic mushroom, because of all the hippies and people years ago, they think Amsterdam and green things that ain't even normal. You never see one grow like that in the field, would you? Like green mold on them. But you know, in a proper professional controlled environment, it's good. And even the big dose, like 4 grams with a doctor, with someone present, like the studies that they're doing, I've been watching, I mean, ain't my sort of bag. I won't like to do that with anyone.
They put their headphones on, didn't they?
They put their headphones on and they start crying, and you release trauma. You don't even know where the trauma comes from, but it's held in the body. And it's like having like a wardrobe and you've got a coat at the back. And you never see it. It's at the back in the corner. It's like you pull that coat out and you have to dust it and give it, and get it out. And wardrobe away because there's no good in the wardrobe. You're not wearing it. It's been there 20 years. So that's what these emotions like that we store through trauma. And these things are in the right environment. Yeah, if
such a good analogy, isn't it?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. Wow. What about things like you must have looked into things like ayahuasca and?
I'm curious about this. But I don't like hallucinogenics when it's heavy duty. I see a kid in my estate when I grew up taking acid. Eugene, his name was, mate. He after some people go and have.
They say it opens Pandora's box, isn't it? And sometimes you just can't close it.
Never the same. Gone. He ended up dying of heroin, getting found in an alleyway like 20 years later. But he was gone after that. He was going into psychiatric places. Like him after one trip. Like,
so you wouldn't go near DMT or ayahuasca.
Again, like I want more safety experiences. I don't want to go and to some jungle in Peru. In case you go up my gate, trips me out of my nut, and I start walking through the forest naked. No one knows who I am, and get bitten by a snake or something. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be in a good environment. But I think DMT, because ayahuasca is mixed with something different. But the little go of DMT, they do the little vapes.
Yeah.
They sound
you
interesting.
You can smoke it and all sorts.
It's like no people. I won't say who they are, but famous. Very wealthy people in the influencer game and things like that. Yeah, I won't say that. And I've sat in those conversations. They've said, mate, it changed my life. My life was well. I've done the 3 pulls on the thing once. I saw where they done it. And he said, mate, the little mad journey I went on, like he told me about. And they said, after I got up next day.
New person, isn't it? Yeah.
No, he's worth fucking fortunes, big houses.
I've only ever heard good things about it. I can't lie. I've never heard. Have you ever heard something about it?
Where can you do something like that?
Yeah, loads of places. You can do it in the UK.
Can you?
Yeah.
Ayahuasca is the mad one. That's the mad when you do
ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Well, that is meant to completely and utterly, completely change you.
You go back to your childhood and all that stuff.
Apparently, it just completely eradicates your ego.
Where's this one? Sorry.
Yes.
Ayahuasca.
Oh wow. Okay.
It eradicates your speak to thingy about it.
My man.
Yeah, it's an heavy thing though. It's just you're in there for a few hours and if you got to go like
some journey, like a proper journey, bro.
No, it's heavy, mate. Ain't no fucking about. Not everyone does. They say to you like fast for 24 hours. You don't do that.
Yeah.
But you can still.
It's a serious journey.
But once you're in, they reckon you do it. I think the first day's a 4 hour, next day's a 12 or something. But they reckon after. I've never heard no one say a bad word about it.
No, I haven't.
But I've seen bods do. Is like a, and they end up.
But there's a point. Apparently, there's a point you get to though where they say you don't pass through. Like apparently, you get on. So you get to a certain point and they say you don't break through. So it depends on whether your mind state and body is ready to get to that point. So like you'll go there, you'll go on a really mad journey, spiritual one, obviously. You'll get there and whether your body or mind is ready or not, it tells you to say, we're not ready to enter that.
Is that the state of mind you're in before you do it?
Yeah, it may be. Potentially, there's a bit of subconscious here that says to you, do you know what, let's not go there just yet.
They say you should ask for something you want to learn before you do it.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just go mushrooms, really. If you do it's not much different than mushroom. If you take like a couple of grams or something of mushroom, and not a big mad dose, and you ask for something, generally in them few hours, things that come to you. Just comes mad. Like golden teachers. Like it's in the title. Oh, there's penis envy and shit. They're all doing that. There's heavy stuff. I like the if I do it, if I want to do a little bit more,
Yeah.
you know, chill out in my garden, look at plants, and take pictures in portrait mode and shit. You know what I mean? Fall in love with the universe again and look at stars for 6 hours. I love it, mate. It's a beautiful. Like, the mad thing with magic mushrooms, right? There's no addiction.
Yeah.
They're not addictive. People forget this. You can't get addicted to them. You never have a mushroom and think, fuck me, I can't wait to have that. I think, you know what I mean? I'll take the kids to school. Start seeing, you know, you don't. So even on light doses, things just light up and look a bit 4D. That's the nice base. So they're not addictive. All these antidepressants scar your brain. You get scar tissue in the brain, unrepairable.
Yeah.
Magic mushroom don't do nothing to your brain. It passes through your system. It's not addictive. There's no side effects. The side effects, what the doctors give you, are anxiety and depression.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You've got anxiety. You've had it for 20 years. You go to stop the tablets, you get anxiety and depression. I mean, doctor put him back on the tablets.
But that's what I was trying to explain. Like, these companies are all owned by
Big Pharma.
big pharma.
Yes.
Like, is it pharmaceutical?
Big
Am I
pharma.
saying it properly?
Yeah, big pharma.
Pharmaceutical. Sorry, like companies. So essentially, I feel like they don't want to stop that because it's their money, right? So when it comes to shrooms and microdosing, if that were to come into place, it might blow it out the water. So the way
100%.
they could keep it this way, keep the stigma. Yeah.
Go out for nothing.
Yeah.
How much it cost? It wouldn't cost. Like, it's not even a penny. It'd be like no. You couldn't even. I couldn't figure what that actually cost.
Yeah.
They say everything is on Earth we already need to cure ourselves of anything
Yeah.
we already have. That's
Well,
what
have you seen the other mushrooms? Like, obviously, again, boys, ADHD, I go right into everything. Turkey tail.
Turkey tail cures cancer.
Yeah, what it does is, if you've got a tumour, it seals the blood cells from being able to get into a tumour, so the tumour has to shrink. It's mad.
That guy gave it to his
insane.
mum, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Stan.
I follow him on Instagram. He said his mum had tumours the size of walnuts, and then she took the turkey tails and got rid of them.
4 ounces
And
a
it got
day.
rid.
Just that.
4 grams a day. Two in the morning. No, actually, it's not. He says do 2 and 2. She had 4 grams in the morning in capsules, or even the lump, whatever, and 4 grams in the evening, and it stops it. You can't feed the.
Does she have to take them? Does she have to take them
You
forever
can't feed
now?
the tumour.
Or
No,
is
once
that
it goes.
Tumour's
No.
gone.
You might as well. Though. I take them all the time. I've got them indoors, little capsules, only 15 quid for like 90.
Yeah.
2 in the morning, 2 at night. They say 1, but I'm quite a lump. So 2 and 2. There's only mushroom. We're going to do piss it out. You know what I mean? It's fucking turkey tail. So, you know, and lion's mane's good for ADHD.
That's what I take.
I've heard lion's mane's
I'll
good.
take
Lion's really good.
Lion's mane's. It's very similar to psilocybin, to the magic mushroom. Yeah, psilocybin. It's very similar to the way it works. Lion's mane, the connections that fire up. But psilocybin.
Can you explain, just for the sake of the listeners, Rob? Just explain a little bit about what lion's mane is, what it does, benefits of.
Lion's mane's good. Well, there's no evidence, but people that take it with ADHD, it allows them to focus a little bit more, and it's good for making new connections in your brain. It repairs damaged brain cells. How up is that?
Oh wow.
That's mad, isn't it?
And improves memory as well.
Yeah, and increases memory. And, you know, magic mushroom, which is the psilocybin, which takes it even to other levels, you know, with neuroplasticity and that. But it's really good. I mean, you know, if you're scared of trying anything like that, and, you know, worried about microdosing, then definitely get lion's mane for your mind, 100%. Yeah, mushrooms.
Is there an age limit?
There's mushrooms that kill you and mushrooms that make your life amazing.
Yeah, that's right.
too.
Yeah.
Like
There's trillions, isn't there?
Yeah,
There's
there's-
trillions of
yeah.
species
Is
of
there
mushrooms.
is there an age limit on lion's mane? Like what age you can start taking it?
Well, you're not allowed to take magic mushrooms anyway.
No.
It's a mushroom,
Yeah,
so
No,
whatever.
but for the people
I've
watching, do you know what I mean? Like,
I
Have
wouldn't
you
have thought
got-
there's an age, would you? Not
a mushroom.
but mushroom, yeah.
There's a documentary on that on Netflix as well. I don't know. You both
Shrooms,
Yeah.
watched it.
Yeah,
Unbelievable. That
Unbelievable.
was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
How have we got speaking about mushrooms for
Oh,
the
that's
last
like
10,
it's
15
crazy,
minutes?
isn't it?
That was
It's cool. It's cool. It's
Good conversation.
Good lot of learn. There's a lot for people to learn from this.
It's good because it scares people away. You know, when I talk to people, they go, magic mushrooms. I go,
No,
no, mate,
that's-
you don't trip
that's the
out. You
stigma
take a
around it.
0.1, you won't even notice anything. And when I show them the TED Talks, when they see professionals talking, all of a sudden,
But like you said,
really?
though,
They get interested when they see the evidence of the brain scans, what you see. The brain lights up. It's unbelievable.
you just need to educate yourself. To like you said,
Yeah.
that you dive into stuff. You go on YouTube. Everything's out there, like for you
Yeah.
to learn. Like everything's there at your
The
fingertips.
world's never
But,
been more accessible.
but
It's
people
not,
are
is
more.
it?
It's easier to sit back and listen to a little box and watch a TV and listen to that rather than kind of find it yourself. Because I think who wants to do the work and find out nowadays?
Yeah.
Especially for youngsters. Like,
Yeah.
The mainstream ain't going to tell you all this kind of
No.
stuff.
Never.
No.
I'm dead. I thought they should fight.
No.
Do you know what I look at? Right, is the health service ain't much fucking innocent than the mental health service. I don't think the doctors and that really get, you know, people that write the scripts basically, because have you seen What the Health?
Even your GP.
What the health? Yeah, I've seen what the hell.
No, I haven't. No.
Mate, it's unreal. Have you heard about diabetes? Yeah, and sugar diabetes. sugar diabetes, stage type 2, I mean, not type 1, as your pancreas is. Type 2, I've had people come into my practice for 18 years, they've had diabetes type 2. I go, what causes it? They go, it's the pancreas, too much sugar in your blood. We're eating too much sugar. You know, if the pancreas is letting too much insulin. I'm going, no way, but what causes it to do that? And they look at me, I don't know. They don't even know what causes it, right? It's nothing to do with the sugar. Is like wiping the blood up. Stop eating sugar when you got sugar diabetes type 2. It's like wiping blood up again, like the anxiety. You know, you're not stitching the cut, you're just wiping the thing. It's not. It is in a way, but it ain't. It's dairy and meat products, yeah? So what it does is it puts fat like a tar. It puts a tar through your vein. So what happens, imagine this is your vein, yeah? This lead. In your blood, when we eat sugar, sugar goes through our vein and millions of little cells come in and it pulls the sugar through your veins into the system. And either uses it as energy or stores it as energy, turns to fat, whatever, right? Millions, it will come in. That's what they do. That's how they get sugar out. When you put a tar around that, around your veins, guess what happens? You can't get in. That's why you're getting that overload of sugar impacting your system, pancreas, that changes all your insulin levels, yeah? So that's the cause of it. So it's the vegan is the way to take it down. If anyone's on the borderline of diabetes, go vegan for a month and go have a blood test and watch your results drop. If not, revert, and they reckon they can reverse 70% of people's diabetes, isn't it? 70%. No, I'm not. I do it. What I used to. I haven't done it for the last 2 years. I ain't gonna lie, but normally, like next year or January, I like to do it. So I just look at it like your car. You know, like if you need an oil change, right?
Right.
Locks up your brain, your body. So just go vegan for a month. And nowadays, it ain't hard. You got your moody burgers, you got chicken nuggets, you got like you ain't got to suffer. Would you have got full tickles? You got to check the nights. What?
Would you ever go full time vegan?
No,
I never would. I
don't want to.
Don't think I want to. No,
Yeah,
need to.
I don't want to.
I think life's balance. Like I said earlier, generalisation. People are extreme at everything.
Yeah, for sure.
That's good. That's bad. That's how you should do it. No, listen. Anger's good in its right way. You know, everything's good for you in its right way, and it's bad. Like saturated fats, they're saying now are good for you, and it's a right amount. So you know. It's where you need it, isn't it?
100%. Everything's okay in moderation, I suppose.
Completely.
That's what I always say. Look at us. We were surviving on Doritos the whole time.
Literally.
We'd wake up and we'd have a bag of Doritos.
I've got so many videos of us were just eating crisp every single day.
So healthy before we went out as well.
Yes.
I was in such good nick. I mean, not that we're in bad nick now, but before we went out, there was dieting on point.
It took me a long time. It took me over a week, boys, to get back on track.
Yeah. It's
Can't lie.
difficult.
This shows you balance, isn't it?
Yeah,
you
exactly.
Have a little blip
That's
when
why
you
I
go
didn't
back to
mind,
it. That's what?
That's why I didn't mind though.
Yeah, of course.
We done the
We
hard
deserved
part. We
it.
enjoyed it. Come back.
People get obsessive though.
Balance, isn't it?
That's the key word. Yeah.
You've got a balance, and that's what I think. Yeah.
Sorry, go on, boss.
I was just gonna say, like, from your practice, and you don't have to say it, but is there a particular type of story that kind of sticks out, like the most? What am I trying to say? Like the most bizarre type of case you might have dealt with that you've helped someone get back on track with. If you can give us like a bit of an insight, because everyone deals with different types of things. I understand.
Sounds like a long-winded. What do you mean, like bizarre in what way? In
Do you mean like a success story? Or?
Yeah, exactly. Like
a
someone
bizarre
that might have
success
come
story.
to you.
Yeah, go on.
No, sorry, I was just going to say,
elaborate on that.
Come to you that with a certain problem, and it could have been like a very like different, bizarre type of case that you thought, and you
I've
helped
loads
to
of
get back
people
on
all the
track.
time, mate. It's every week in, week out. It sounds like blowing trumpet, but I'm UK's #1. I got to.
Yeah.
I'm governor, right? So this is week in, week out for me, right? I ain't bragging. I'm just telling you.
I love it, mate. Oh.
Right? That's it. I get this week in, week out. Help people come to me on Suicide Watch. Now they're booming. People with no money. Now they're driving Ferraris. Like, I've got cases you can talk to these people. A guy rang me a couple of years ago, 33 stone. I'll send you the picture. You can whack it on this as a little cutting, yeah? 33 stone. His name's Jack. Couldn't get out of bed, right? 33 stone, couldn't move, right? Picture him in bed. I worked him over the phone, didn't even meet him. Worked him over the phone, boom, got him talking about how to cut down. Because what people do is when you get someone like, eat salad, stop, drink water, you know, be healthy. You ain't fucking do that, it's 30 fucking stone. Like I'm saying, like, instead of drinking 3 litres of Coke a day, drink 1. You know, don't starve him. He ain't going to be able to go from what he's doing and his body's going to go into shock. That could even kill him. So, you know, I said, like, fistfuls of chewed down food we're going to go for, Jay. Eat what the you want, yeah? I don't care if it's pizza, McDonald's, because weight loss is really I'm not about being healthy. When people overweight want to lose weight, the first thing is to get the weight off is portion control. It's a law of physics. Now, diets don't work. I can't bother to go into that in a minute, but the law of weight loss diets work, fitness gym diets work. People that are active and very detailed, but the studies prove only 8% of the population can live their life by a routine of meal plans, like athletes and certain people, right? But that means 92% of the diets use weight loss diets. They have 100% failure rate. Prove it to you. No one's been on Weight Watchers at 17, stuck to the rules without breaking them, and died at 70 looking like a rocket. It's happened, is it?
Like a rocket.
No one's ever stuck to a diet, have they?
You're right.
No one can stick to it. They're unsustainable. And if something's not sustainable, it don't work. So the only way, if you look at people that have been thin their whole life, I don't care if they're in shape or they're just thin and out of shape. I don't give a fuck. If someone's weighing, like a man's weighing, I don't know, leaves school and he weighs 30 stone, and at 45 he's still 30 stone. He's eating the same amount of food. I don't care what he's eating. I don't care if he's eating chocolate to spinach. I couldn't give a fuck. But if you look at the portion control, so when I get a client and they're like Jack say, if I was to see Jack when I met him, and I go, what did you weigh when you was 18? He might say, right, he might say 20 stone. I go, well, I don't know. If I got the chewed down, right, the chewed down amount of food that Jack ate over a week when he was 20, and I put it in a black bag, it was spat out, as just for the metaphor, and it was a bag that big, right? I'll know at 33 stone, the chewed down amount of food he's eating now, I don't care what the food is, good or bad, this bag's going to be bigger because it's the law of physics.
Yeah, of course.
You can't change the fucking physics. It's impossible. What dietitian you are, physics is physics, right? So when you're talking about extreme weights and big weights, it's physics. It's what it boils down to. Eating healthy and losing weight have named each other for most people on a weight loss diet, yeah? So
it's calories in versus calories out.
It's always, yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Have 3 miles bars a day, you get fucking weight.
Yeah. True.
You can be healthy, but you're going to lose weight. It's two different, you know.
Yeah.
So, again, it's that balance, isn't it? If you have a fucking nice smoothie in the morning with an apple, orange, banana, a bag of carrots, have a fucking burger at lunch. You're fucking 3 a day, ain't you? You've got your vitamin. What's the matter? Food's on the energy otherwise, isn't it? Yeah, if you're not worried about weight there. So anyway, but what I'm saying is, so I got him to love 3 fistfuls of chewed down food a day. Eat what the fuck you want. And that's how I went with it. But I taught him, like, there's loads I do actually, loads of talking, mostly about visualization and things, yeah? You got to be able to create the emotion of what you want to be. So we got him visualizing. He wanted to box again. Remember, we got right? He wanted to box again. He wanted to play rugby. He tried hanging himself. Mate, literally 2 months later, he's climbing a mountain. Right? Wow. He's the biggest, heaviest person. And a massive mountain, but it just comes in the laws of a mountain by the size. He climbed that. And now he's just become British champion unlicensed boxing last week. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Jack's journey, I think it's 93. I'm thinking
that's insane.
Yeah, he's just become British champion, IF something, yeah. And he's sharp. He's still like 20 stone now, but he's done 13 stone. But he's rapid. You see his hand speed and that. He's a big guy, and and at first he started going on bike rides. He's going on walks. So where he felt, I think, a bit embarrassed at the beginning, he was going for walks in the daytime. You know, it's like early morning, 4 in the morning, he'd get up 5. So I think he didn't want to see him out walking, whatever. I think his confidence was a bit, but he started having this vision. So he was going out, and it was raining. Then when as we said earlier on about, you know, the law of polarity, good and bad is bad's good and good can be bad, right? So hard can be soft and soft can be hard, sort of thing. Sounding well wrong in the middle of 4 geezers, right? But anyway, right? So what I'm saying is he started going out, and as he was getting his confidence up, I started introducing him to David Goggins, right?
Yeah.
Some people need to go like at some point of therapy, you go, no, man, enough. Can go and get it, and that's a good bit of therapy.
Yeah,
you
true.
Put that in the world.
100%
You can't put that out into the world in the government and go, you can't talk to someone like that. God, what do you know? You going? Where was you brought up? You know what I mean? Yeah. Fed by Prince Philip. So, you know, you got sometimes you get to that stage, and I got him to that stage. Like, now, listen, we have to raise standards. And I started showing him Goggins, right? And he started getting into it. Next thing I know, he's like a madman. He's out in the street, 4 in the morning, pissing down the rain up north. You know, tipping water over his head underneath someone's broken gutter. Going, I'm out here doing what you don't want to do. That's what's going to make me successful. He started getting a little following behind him.
Yeah, good man. I'd love to hear that.
If I could do it at my size, what you in bed for? What's your excuse? And like, he's walking around the fucking
yeah, man. What geezer.
giving it to people. It was like, come on, my boy. He done really well. And then the first time I actually met him, I do a UMT course, unconscious mind therapy. I teach it. Got one coming up in September the 11th, I think. And what he does is he comes out now, speaks. He comes down. He loves to come down just to tell his story, and everyone cries because it's a big story. Mate found him hanging himself, and he's trying to hang himself and all that. And that's when he rang me up, and he said, "I'll do whatever you tell me." I said, "Do what? Tell me. Do as you're told." Then and he went, "I will." And he'd done everything I told him to do, and now he's like living his best life.
That's
Good man, yeah.
So there's like one of the stories, weight loss I've had.
What's to caveat that a little bit, Rob? What's like because obviously this is new, very new to us
mate,
as well.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what is a common misconception about unconscious mind therapy that
People think hypnosis, all we do is hypnosis.
Right.
There's one, that's just one little side of unconscious mind therapy.
Sure.
A lot of hypnotherapy is good. Like, hypnotherapy on its own might have, like, I don't know, 40% success rate on its own. I use unconscious mind therapy. My sessions are 3 hours long. So I use hypnotherapy to enhance stuff. I use trance hypnosis. So, like, sort of what you was doing then, I'd close your eyes, I'd have you talking. So I won't put you into a really deep state where you can't move or talk. And I'll do that as well. But that's more for when I work with fighters and stuff to move forward. And once I've worked with someone, but I do like a light trance work. So you close your eyes, I get them to relax a little bit, talk to them, and I can pace inside their mind and sort of lead them. Wow. So I think that's good because then I can know where they're at. If they're in deep trance, if they're in a deep state of hypnosis, I don't know what they're thinking, I'm honest, and I can't talk to them. So it's only good for me to lead the way. So also there's like loads of things I do when I'm talking that you wouldn't know I was doing, making associations, and people go, "Bomb," I go, "Try to find that feeling." They go, "Well, where's it gone? You've only been talking to me, you ain't done anything." I go, "I'm always so much clever." But and they go, like, I've changed. Some people, I walk out their house to go, and a woman the other week, she walked out of her house and she said, "Oh, he's lovely guy, I really enjoyed it, but don't think it done anything. Like, don't think that." But I know it has. So the next day she went, "Mate, she's got up in the morning, her mum's feather dusting the wall, she's hoovering, like she ain't been able to do nothing, she's depressed." She said, "Well, she's never been the same." I said, she come up the weekend, had dinner up here, she my dad saying she's definitely back normal, she ain't stopped moaning again, you know what I mean? Like, she's back in it, back in the game. So because it's unconscious, you don't always know what I'm doing. So now you see Devon Brown do things, lead things, I break her claps anchors, and it's too hard. It's a bit long-winded and boring if I was to explain it how it all works on here. But yeah, so that's what I do.
That's insane. You help with personal growth as well, though, right? So unlocking the full potential.
All my sessions,
yeah,
all of my sessions. I don't care if it's stop smoking, you know, scared of heights, whatever it is. The next after the session, my session with everyone, my gift is always to give them the mindset to move forward.
Wow.
And how to create the life. They don't need to come back to me. So that's why now I could do what I could do because I don't get clients each week that come in, they fuck off, I don't see them again. I just get success videos and word of mouth clients. That's all I do, yeah? So, you know.
So it's not like repeat, people don't have to keep coming back to you and all this.
Well, you do one session, that's it?
One session done, mate. Finished.
No way.
Yeah, I could cure a phobia in fucking 15 minutes. I can't charge someone 400 quid, so I have to give them more value, right? People go, but if I said to you, right, if I said to you, I've got anxiety. Now, this is what psychotherapists say. Google it. 2 years. That's their quote, right? It's going to take us 2 years to get rid of your PTSD, right? I'm not giving, I could do it 15 minutes. Same as a phobia. Phobias and PTSDs under the same family. Anxiety and phobias work very similar. So they go to a psychotherapist for 2 years and they give them, say they give them a 1 hour a week, right? That's 10 bags in 2 years. They've used 100 hours of their life, right? That's 10 grand. If I said, give me $1,000, or give me 2 grand, right? And I'll do it in 3 hours. I'll go, fuck off, I ain't giving you 2 grand for 3 hours.
So true. So true.
They can't price condition it, but you go and give him 10 grand. Is it 10 grand? Am I right?
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that.
5 a week, 50 odd weeks of, yeah.
52 weeks, yeah.
Yeah, so there you go, right? So you give them 2 years worth of work, you give them 10 grand and used 100 hours of your life. If they do make you better, that is, as well. That's if they do their fucking job. But I'll do it in 3 hours and you're done.
Do you reckon?
Well, think about what I charge 400 quid, right? So I've saved you over fucking 9 grand. Well, actually, 10 grand, so that just works out.
Have you had ex-squaddies? If anyone doesn't know what an ex-squaddie is, an ex-squaddie is an ex-soldier.
Loads.
The PTSD comes in.
Heavy stuff, yeah. Scary.
And sorted them out.
Some of them having bad flashbacks, looking like, you know, psychosis, run out their house in the morning, thinking people outside rolling the
Yeah, I know, it's bad, man, I know.
Bad, then poor bastards get no help, mate. They're like, they get conditioned for 6 months or 6 weeks or whatever it is training to become a killer, and they build them up again and again, and they go and shove them out to fucking war. Then they come back and go, let's talk to a doctor for a week, sit him in a room, oh, he's okay, get back out on Civvy Street, and I don't know what the fuck's it. And how can you program someone for all them months to be a killer?
For war, yeah, that's it.
You know, and then just put them in society. I don't know, you know, have a little week, talk to them, you know, okay, they've got to sit here for a week and read the paper.
So dangerous, mate.
Back into society.
Mate,
So
I feed the homeless a lot, yeah. I do a lot with the homeless and many squaddies on the street. So scary.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, because they get the booze, they're eating the drugs, they want to escape from reality.
That's the only charity I really support and I give to, do you know?
Really?
Help Heroes.
Yeah.
That's the only charity that I really am fully behind. All the others are just...
Is that because of anything in particular or just...
I've just got the utmost respect for the armed forces, for what they do. They get paid cool, and people like my brother's an ex-squaddy.
Yeah.
Things like that. And I've met loads from doing bits and pieces of Help for Heroes, and just through work and things like that. Like, going to do charity days and things. I've always done it with Help for Heroes, and I just know they get. I know they get no help and support afterwards. They're just left to their own devices, mate.
Yeah,
it's just fucking awful.
That's the saddest part.
The trauma they go through and have to live with is terrible, isn't it? You know, if you see some people, I've met squaddies who just don't give a fuck. They're just not cut that way. They're more the thinker. They can just shut it off, boom. And I've met them. Pods have been in the SAS. They've got bullet holes, shrapnel in them. They just don't affect some people, and that's fine.
That's a mindset. Their mindset is just their mindset. You never break it. Do you know what I mean?
I think to an extent you're born lucky enough to be able to do that, to shut off emotion and not take it with you. But then other people, I mean, it's the way you.
Do you reckon it's born or your way you brought up?
I think a bit of it's if you're born, because as I said, you make your choices through thinking and feeling. So someone's making their choices through thinking and internalise it a lot easier to go, right, he's going to kill me, I'm going to kill him, bang, done, it's done, that's it, it's in his box. Someone has a feeling person might have the idea of that, but when they do it, the trauma of the vision keeps coming back in their mind and they feel sad. There's a lots of, and there's also to do with the way they've been programmed anyway as a child. You know, I've had some friends, my cousin's friends come out of the army, mate, bad packet head, lost everything. Like, he's a good guy, a nice guy, you know, and it's bad to see what happens to squatters. But yeah, I work with lots of people like that. People have been blown up in a one guy had he had to do a night watch. I think it was back in the 80s in Ireland.
Cool.
And the IRA done a bomb over, shot a rocket launcher or something, blew the gate up. His mate died. His mate, go on, I'm not tired yet. He went, have another couple of hours on, I'm ready, I'll come down. They were like doing different duties.
Shift shooter, yeah.
He said, well, his mate died and he always felt guilty for it. It's obviously come up, when he's come out, you can imagine it, you know, he was in a bit of a bad way.
Guilt.
Dead bodies everywhere, yeah, it's bad. And, you know, it's just, maybe that's just going through your head. And some people can't get over it. It's what the body does. It keeps bringing it back to say you could die in a minute. It's ain't going to blow up in a minute.
So what's the main difference, like, just to be abundantly clear for us and for everyone watching, what is like the main vital difference between what you do and in 3 hours for somebody in comparison to what
I'll deal with your unconscious mind. That's in the title. I'll remove your emotions. The way, see, you can only think how you feel. Have I said this already?
Yeah.
You can only think how you feel. So if I'll go in unconscious, I look where your feelings come from, I discover where it's at, and I'll remove the feeling. Like that technique I showed you, one of them, you know, I'll destroy the feeling. And if the feeling's not there, you can't make the thought. So if you're scared of getting on the plane, and I've removed the fear association that you was taught because you're born as a baby as a blank
to do with getting on that plane.
Yeah, if I just remove that, collapse that feeling, you get on a plane and you can't feel fear anymore, how can you make a scared thought? You can think you might be scared, like an anticipation, but you can't make a scared thought if you don't feel fear. It's impossible.
Yeah, well,
Are you scared of anything?
I don't really know. Not living. Not living fully.
That's me,
Not creating.
That's same as me.
Not creating, not moving forward. To be sitting at home doing cool. Yeah, like I used to growing up, and like, you know, my mum and dad and most people, sadly enough, because the schooling system take away our creativity. They take it away. It's taught how not to make mistakes. That's all. You know, there's 1,000 kids in the school, and they say, this is how you spell, this is how you write, this is how you colour in, this is how you draw, and you've got to do it how I teach you. And if you don't, I'm going to mark you as an F. And the teacher goes, what's an F? That's a failure, miss. Sorry, the teacher goes, it's a failure. And the little kid goes, I don't want to be a failure. We'll do as you're told then. So 1,000 kids in the school have got to be shaped to do the same thing the same way, otherwise they're made to feel stupid to a level with that is, to an unconscious level. I know a lot of teachers are good, and there is a lot more teachers now understanding the unconscious mind and working with emotion. There's a lot more out there for dyslexia, but in my day, that's how it really.
Even in ours, I think, to some sort of respect.
Until I left school, there was no talk of mental health.
I can't learn by sitting down and someone speaking to me, and like reading as well. It wasn't my thing. Yeah. I can read a book and then I start missing words. I start going to my mind somewhere else. But podcasts and like audio balls, I can listen to that. That's how I can learn. So everyone's very different.
So they teach us one way of learning still. So
exactly.
It's one way. They know that there's 9 types of different intelligence. Yeah, you got some people are good with nature. Some people are born and they can connect to plants and just grow plants and understand how it works. And they can make, you know, some people are good with animals. Got friends moved to South Africa. They just love animals. They just love animals. They're just good with animals, right? I'll go near a dog that bites me every time I can see it, right? But I'm good with the mind and emotional intelligence, yeah? So that's my skill. I'm good at music. Anything with emotion, I'm pretty good at. So, you know, some people look at David Beckham could just kick a football. Just kick a ball, can't just bend the ball. He's like just got this natural thing, you know.
Yeah.
I know you got to work hard at it, but still, some people
definitely have
that's emotional
natural
intelligence.
abilities just towards things.
For sure.
I envy those people that are able to find that and then completely hone in on that. Like people have a love for aircraft, or people just like, I always wanted to be like an engineer. Do you know what I mean? Like they just love working on planes, or like I admire and envy the people that properly find what they're connected to and then just do that for the rest of their life.
Do you reckon hard work can beat that though?
Hard work beats talent,
Yeah.
and talent doesn't work hard, right? So, do you know what I mean? If David Beckham didn't practice as much as he did, the next kid would have been
That's what I'm
someone
trying
else.
to say,
do you know what I mean? So
you got to have a vision for what you want to do. So if you're talented at football, you don't like it, then you're pretty. You know what I mean? But so what you're saying there? But you've got an emotional intelligence to be good at football because it's a feeling. So look at Jimmy Bullard at the minute. He's playing single figures golf. Jamie R plays a lot of footballers can play single figures golf because they're good with how the ball works, the connection to a ball. So they can transfer the feeling from their feet to their hands. Yeah, and they just understand how a ball works. They're pretty good at snooker and pool half the time. Anything with a ball, they in shape like when it comes to that level. So you know, it's if you like planes, it might be boats, it might be steel work. You don't have to be a plane. It's just that they're detail minded. So they like structure, they like to know measurements and sizes and connections and theories, and that's how their brain works. So they're going to be good with loads of things like that. Believe it or not. So it's there is more. You're good at certain things, but trust me, you've got more opportunity to be good at passionate about loads of things. You just got to go out and
try. Yeah.
People don't try. But I've got people. This is the biggest problem with mental health in today's world is that people don't look for a goal. What do you want to do? First comes love, then comes marriage, then comes a baby and a baby carriage and a pay me an ass off and I'm going to die. And what else? Oh, I don't know. I can't afford to do that. I can't do this because this will happen. Full of fucking excuses, and they don't try now.
That's all we talk about in this pod. That's literally all we talk about in this pod.
Like, goals, mate. Yeah. Goals are people with problems. Depression, anxiety in today's world won't be there if more people have fucking goals. Yeah. You know, I see Arnold Schwarzenegger the other day with his documentary.
Have you watched it?
Unreal.
Isn't it fucking phenomenal?
Unreal.
And he said, I'm too busy to have goals. I've got too many goals to be depressed.
Depressed.
I'm too busy with fucking... And that's how the mind works. Human beings are creators, boys, right? This is why you can never be you should never be depressed as a human being, yeah? Our imagination is our gift. Albert Einstein said, your imagination is the preview to life's coming attractions, right? It's fucking beautiful, son. Everything gets made twice, right? Now, I challenge all three of you, except for what comes from nature and the earth in its original form, except for trees, plants, cats, dogs, wind, rain, sand, snow, monkeys, trees, oxygen, except for like what comes from the elements of the earth, yeah, basically, in its original form. See if you can find anything in this room, in this bar, except for what comes from nature and the earth in its original form, that never started first as a vision, as a thought in a human's brain before it was created as a thing or an object. Find me one thing.
Couldn't.
How about if I give you the inside and outside of every building in Gravesend? You can have the inside and outside of every building, except for what comes from nature and the earth, its original form. Find me one thing. New York, Mexico. Show me, have a look.
So true.
Thoughts become things, as they say in The Secret, yeah? And you become what you think about most of the fucking time.
That's so true what you said then as well. No.
So what was a crocodile doing 2 million years ago? It was in a swamp, kill, sleep, eat, mate, reproduce. What's it fucking doing today, 2 million years later?
Same thing.
It's still in a swamp, kill, sleep, eat, mate, reproduce, yeah? It's true, isn't it? What have we done in 200 years? We created planes to go faster and further than a bird, cars and trains to go faster and further than a cheetah, and boats and submarines to go deeper and further than a fish. We're fucking creators, yeah? You have to think about what clothes you're going to wear before you think about putting them on, yeah? I had to think about being here today. Why you thought about being here today? Because otherwise we're not all being here. We all created this moment, yeah? Things are getting 100%. Made twice all the time, yeah? So when you look around you and you realise that all this comes from a brain as a vision inside someone's head before they started making it outside here. And how does evolution work? We grow up with TVs that I grew up with tellies that were like, me, my old man used to break it back carrying it, right? And then the next generations, the scientists said, well, that was good, but we can make it that thinner. And now you've got TVs like
paper thin, isn't it? Yeah, that's it.
So, you know, that's what evolution is. Our thoughts and our ancestors' thoughts. That's what fucking evolution is. So where that's been happening for so many fucking thousands of years, people forget about we're creators. And the schooling system say, stop daydreaming, get on with your work. This is how you spell. They say, stop daydreaming, and quit daydreaming. It's a negative thing. Can't have vision. Look at me, I'm a school teacher. 28 grand a year for the rest of my life. 6 weeks holiday, but I can't afford to go away anywhere. Yeah. Like, the fuck are you listening to them for? I mean, school teachers are great, right? Their brain for information if they're if an English teacher is a fucking genius at English, right? A maths teacher's fucking genius at maths. your brain and enjoy it. But don't take life experience off. If you want to be a millionaire, I mean, you do if they're interested in
I
golf,
always used to think this at school, man.
If you want to be a millionaire, you're not going to talk to your teacher on 20 grand a year. You go and talk to a fucking millionaire, right?
Yeah.
And they're not going to be telling you the teacher thinks you fucking know.
Yeah,
Don't know
100%.
You won't go to a swimming coach to learn the box. What's that? You get your head fucking punched in.
For sure.
So, you know, at least it's like people listen to their parents. Yeah, but my mum said this, my dad said that. What do they do? What do they know about it? Well, nothing. They've never done any boxing. We listen to them about boxing for them. You've got to talk. You've got to listen, make sure you're getting your information, not your silly mates. You know, these silly people out listen to their mates' information. But what do their mates know? What have their mates done? Do you know what I'm saying? Unless someone's the elite, don't listen to them. I don't listen to someone's theory. Could do that myself on YouTube. But no, actually, you get more benefit on YouTube because you will get millionaires and billionaires on YouTube telling you fucking real shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you know what I'm saying? But people don't understand the made twice thing. And that's why they can listen to this shit and don't absorb it. So why never mean everything gets made twice, good or bad? Whatever your life's doing, whatever you think about, you become. It's the oldest proverb of all time, right? Deep sea scrolls, Egyptian pyramids, every religious book, you're going to find that proverb. There's no bigger proverb than what you think about, you become what you think about. Now, we've got part of the brain called the reticular activating system. Yeah?
The what?
The reticular activating system. It's
Okay.
a group of neurons at the bottom of the brain opposite the pituitary gland that works as a filtering system. Yeah? So this is what, so you know if you ever buy a car, where you go, you see that car.
Yeah, that's
Well,
right.
I suppose if you go on holiday, all you do is see shorts and new trainers and you're like, you know, sun.
Well, when you're thinking of a car, you see it all the
Yeah,
time.
all the time.
All the time.
There you go.
Yeah.
And if you get your missus pregnant, every one's pregnant.
Yeah.
It's got to be saying in the water, wherever I go, keep seeing people pregnant a minute. What's going on? Everyone drinking from the same tap, you know, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, this is the RES system, but it also shows you what you don't want. If you keep thinking I've got anxiety, and you go to a psychotherapist and practice anxiety for 2 years, your RES system, it fires the neurons to wire fire together for you to see more evidence. So wherever you go, it make false evidence up. Yeah. So you could be in the street walking past a Lamborghini and a Ferrari, and someone's looking across the street, and you could look, and you think, "Oh, look at me because I look like I'm ill today." Oh, and you're whatever you're anxious about, you'll think they're looking at you because of this. They don't give a shit about you. They're looking at the Ferrari. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's
Yeah,
just,
wow,
that's a
so
bad
true.
example, but
I got it.
No,
you know what I'm trying to say?
100%.
So your brain shapes in the information to match your filter.
Creating things that
It's
aren't
called
there.
a confirmation bias. And in politics, if you read something you agree with, you go, "That's good. That is.
Yeah.
That's a good read," because you agree with it. But if you read about something you don't like, if you like, you know, I don't know, you're Mill Sport and you're reading about West Ham or whatever teams it is, you're not going to agree with it. Oh, yeah, listen to their stories, or you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm
okay.
agree.
Who's left, who's right, whatever you agree with, you're going to enjoy it. Whatever you don't agree with, you're going to feel bad. So this is the filter that you programmed, and our filter's programmed to us from kids, for our mum, for our dad. That's why we're so tough our life, trying to undo what we've fucking done to the age of 7, and the confusion that we're taught. Yeah, so. We're programmed by TV, repetition of things, people put in their head. We can get brainwashed by things without knowing. So, like, when you see McDonald's, right, how do you feel?
Hungry.
You do, and you feel,
I fancy a cheeseburger. You just said it, and my mind went double cheesy.
okay, so when you see the golden M, the golden arches.
Golden Arches, yeah, that's it.
When you're a kid, tell me a kid who sees a golden M and goes, McDonald's. Do you ever see a kid go, pizza up? No. With me. No, never do it. Because they've been brainwashed by the neuro association to the M. Every advert, McDonald's, Happy Meal. There's a toy. You know, I'm loving it. It's all linked with love, fun, and joy.
Wow.
So when your brain gets association, there's unconscious mind therapy, what I do, yeah? They keep programming your brain for the M, programming your brain. So when you see the M, you're, I don't know, we all know it. McDonald's go, "Oh, mate, I feel so healthy, do you?" You always feel like
Always feel like a bag of shit.
9 times out of 10, you go, "I wish they read
I
that."
watched the thing about that where they done the marketing on it in terms of McDonald's and the Happy Meal, like how and why they called it the Happy Meal and the effect it actually had. I can't remember what the science is behind it, but that just triggered a memory there. Like
It ain't as
what it
difficult.
does is unbelievable.
See these kinds
As a
of
kid,
stuff.
you're like, I want a Happy Meal.
Yeah.
You know that's meant to, I want a Happy Meal.
Yeah, it's a neuro association. Happy makes you feel good, sad makes you feel bad. It's not rocket science, but they program it unconsciously, and it's just a neuro association, right? So this is what anchors and triggers. Have you heard of that?
Yep.
The anchors
And triggers. In psychotherapy, they call it a neuro association. Yeah. So when you've heard a song, if you've got a neuro association to a song, an anchor to, so you've anchored a state.
It brings you back to a moment, like a memory.
Yeah. That's it. So you hear a song and you're 18 years old dancing on the bar, you think, yeah, that's a tune.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or you can be in a pub and you see some girl crying and you go, what's the matter, babe? This song reminded me of my granddad 20 years ago, he died. And then you hear, I did it my way. And she's sitting there crying, right? It takes her back to the emotional agreement.
Yeah, so true.
So it's a neuroassociation. So people, places, environments, objects have a neuroassociation to us. That's why some people can like white flowers and some people like red flowers. Yeah, it's a neuroassociation. And some people don't give a about both of them. It's flowers, right? Because you ain't got no association. So do you see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, 100%.
anchors and triggers are in everything we do. So linking emotions with like McDonald's, this is what they're doing. They're happy, love, it's all connected to the emotion of McDonald's. When you see the M, that's the trigger. You've seen Darren Brown do things. It makes people shoot people.
Yeah.
It's the same strategy.
Could you do that?
Easy.
You could do that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Easy. If I come in now, yeah. This is for the salesmen out there.
Yeah.
Who wants to pep it up? Yeah. So say if you walk into a client, right? It's called anchoring a state. So if you was to walk into someone and you've got a rapport with someone, you go, "Hello, son, you're looking good today, ain't you? Hey, good looking." And you start chatting. You don't do no more, right? And then an hour goes by later, and I go, "Mate, you've done a blinding job with that decorating over there. It looks really good." Anyway, another little bit of time goes by without him knowing. You go, "Yeah, I think that's good too. That car's mustard. You're right." Every time I say something positive,
Touch them.
that he is my voice and that touch is getting associated to a positivity. It's an unconscious thing. It ain't what I'm saying. Everything I'm saying is positive, happy, whatever you want to call it. Positive, association, voice, tone, touch, right? The brain starts to record it. Yeah, starts to notice. Every time that happens, I feel a bit, feels nice. It's nice words. So what happens is then your brain anchors that state, and then I go, "Listen, I've got these new products, right? Look at this. The family, the business down the road, sold 100 grand of these in the first month. I mean, not as big as you guys. Imagine what you're going to have a look at that. I reckon you could sell loads of them, didn't you?" What his brain starts to release serotonin. Fact. I've got more chance of him going, "Yeah, you only think how you." There you go, boys.
Some birds.
Spider-Man thing like that.
No, this is what happens.
It was coming.
This is what happens when you get into the wrong hands, right? Oh,
darling, you look lovely.
Yeah.
You want to start
Oh, oh,
you crazy. When are we pointing? Wow. Oh, you know, man. I'm so glad I wasn't the only one thinking it.
I fucking knew. I knew.
Oh, that was brilliant.
That ain't what I was trying to get.
That's where we're getting.
That was. You know what I mean, this is why unconscious mind therapy gets a bad name, though. This is the truth, right? It gets a bad name because people use it for manipulation. Yeah. They do, and it's in the wrong hands. It can be.
How long's it been around?
If you've got good,
How long's it been around?
It's the beginning of mankind, but no one knew it people did know these things at all. It's been just how you work. This isn't like unconscious therapy. It's been going since the Egyptian times, hypnosis and things like that.
But people don't have to harness it properly.
Yeah. Harness it, yeah. People, another therapists and different therapy. So NLP come from a modelling the mind. They modeled like Virginia Satir, done Gestalt, what's his name? Fritz Perls started Gestalt therapy. Who else? The great hypnotist of all time, the trance worker called Milton Erickson. He was a Texan. Listen to this, right? This ain't f***ing. This is where they got Yoda from in California for the movies, they reckon, right? No, Yoda's like little green and he speaks tone deaf. Now, if you speak, listen to Milton Erickson do hypnotherapy, right? He was tone deaf, but he didn't even know. He should have died as a kid of polio. He was 4 foot. Saying he was colourblind, he wore purple suits, they called him the purple man in the hills, right, in California. He was getting near on 100% curing schizophrenia, I mean, stuff out of this world, yeah? So he was
diagnosed with that?
What?
Schizophrenia and whatnot?
No, he'd worked with schizophrenics. He was a
psychotherapist. Right, okay, fine.
He was a qualified psychotherapist from Texas, moved to California, but he used a lot of hypnotic trance stuff that he discovered himself, yeah?
Fun.
But he didn't even realise his tone deafness was part of his goodness. So
what? Yeah.
If you now listen to what I have to say, see, you've got all your attention, right? Your what reason being, I went look at you, look, you're all like just staring at me. That's how you get. That's trance, right there. You're not aware you're in trance, but that's trance when you're hyper focusing in one sense. So what you do is you're hearing. I'm pulling you in, hyper focusing. So I whisper low. So you have to stretch your hearing. You have to shut down your other senses to really focus to hear what I'm trying to tell you. And then I pattern break it. So you get a pattern break. When I talk, I say the word like oblong, right? I don't go oblong. You've already finished the word before I've said it. So I'm putting the words deeper into your subconscious because you're finishing them, for one. Yeah. And two, you're not even aware of what I'm saying until I ask you at the end and you go, you remember what I've said, sort of, but you don't know what I've said. Yeah. So you can put embedded commands in. This geezer was a genius. Embedded commands are like this. I could go to you if you want to stop smoking, right? You now need to change and stop things from happening the way they did. Smoking will always kill you, as I know you know that. Now, think about that again. So I'll repeat. So I don't know if you heard, did anyone clock what I've done there? No one. I didn't think you did. It's called an embedded command. You will stop smoking now. I think I missed the will out, but that's basically the principle of it, yeah? So when I go, your brain's going to, unconsciously, it's going to strain harder to listen to the whisper. So it anchors it more. And then I go off, and then I'm doing a suggestion work at top that it's going to kill, it's bad for you. And then I'm putting it embedded the command, and I repeat that again and again and again over like half hour talking to you. I keep putting, you will stop smoking now. You will stop smoking now. You will. So you're getting this embedded subliminal message in your head as well as mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
I was hooked.
Yeah, so was I. I was so
And he'd work
focused on what he was saying.
If people see babies coming through the wall, Erickson would use that in the therapy. He wouldn't say to people, you can't see babies through, like other therapists go, he can't see babies through the wall. He's going mad. He would, no, you can't see babies through the wall, but he can fucking 100% see babies coming through the wall. So we'd use the babies and talk to the guy. Like, I'll give you an example. A guy thought he was Jesus. Erickson knocked on got loads of wood, knocked on the door. Come out, Jesus, we need you. We've heard you're the best carpenter in the land. We need you to build us a wardrobe now. So this geezer's like, thinks he's Jesus. He actually does. He's got a bit of wood and he realises that he can't
do it.
Yeah. So he's starting to get him like a little pattern break back into reality a bit. Was Jesus, well, Jesus can build it. What do you mean you can't build it? And he can't get his head around it. So that he starts breaking them down slowly with little things like that to get into their belief, to open them up. He was a genius.
So clever, just working backwards like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's cool.
Genius. Milton Erickson, look him up, he's good. But he spoke slag that, and they reckon that's where he got Yoda from out of Star Wars, because he was like a little wizard in the hills.
Oh, wow.
People would go up there and come back cured. And you know, like when he met his wife, he it's a blinder. She comes to him for weight loss, wants to kill herself. I don't want to be here. You know, I'm fat, blah, blah. So first one, go and put on 6 pounds. She went, what, you want my help? Go and put 6 pounds on. To come back next week, or whenever it was, or £4. You just put £4 on. That means if you consciously can do that, you consciously can lose £4. And like, it worked mad. People think, what the fuck is this guy doing? But his results were sick, yeah? And then he got her to lose all her weight. And she was so upset because she couldn't get a man. No one fancied her, you know, she was fat. When she lost all of her weight, he went to her, do you want to go on a date? They become married, Mrs. Erickson. It was his wife.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the maddest stories the geezer's got. Like,
that's insane.
With flower pots. I mean, you get
Some life people live in it.
You
Some
should get his book, right? But he was like 4'2". Like, man, if you watch him on YouTube, it's fucking weird because he's really entranced. You end up watching it like that, yeah. But it's really clever. The geezers are really with words and linguistics.
Yeah,
that's where the linguistics come into.
What was you about to ask?
I was just say, since you've been here, have you been analysing us?
No, I'm not.
You don't do that.
Psychotherapist. I couldn't really give.
Oh.
Sweet. You're just a nice guy. I'm on a vibe. I'm a vibe.
Yeah, good man. Yeah.
I don't want to analyse people. Yeah, no, I don't need to.
I was going to ask what. Don't really know how to ask this in terms of, like, to make sure it comes out properly and then people know what I'm trying to ask. Like, I suppose what you're talking about, what people see and what they visualize has obviously the effect on then how they feel.
Yeah, it takes 30 days to program that into the RES system. Into
So what do you feel like, especially for the youngsters today, and it's a massive topic, how do you feel social media has affected people today? And like, what do you recommend youngsters
I don't think
to
we
follow?
Should do, I don't think we should do what people, you're going to probably expect me to say, like when Elvis was about, people went, burn them records, he shook his hips, you know, it's sex, you know, the mums, they burn these records, and that's today's what's happening with this, yeah? It's like modern, it's called evolution. Like, we've got to go to space one day, remember that. This is going to get too much radiation, we're going to die, we're not going to exist anymore unless we get up there, right? Somehow, right? So I believe the iPods, the fucking phones, they're all part of evolution, the way it's got to go, right? So it's no good going. When my dad was different. My dad used to go to me and my dad used to think, fuck being about in your day, you know, like at least I had a fucking, you know, you had an Atari or shit to play with, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and our kids are looking back at our day, they won't be there either. And then when they have their kids, they're gonna be saying you should be playing PlayStations like us. So everything's gonna change in different ways. It's always gonna move. We're always gonna get older and feel that we don't. Like I remember getting to about 20 and seeing old people having panic attacks because they stopped when I was a kid in the bank. You could get a book. So all the old people had bank books. They'd walk into the bank. They wouldn't use machines, right? Put their money in, get their pension out, and it went to no. You get your bank card now. And they'd stand in the street. They'd get their glasses on. And I was like that. The number, and we're standing the number out, and I'm going, but I'd be there for half hour trying to use a thing, right? And I'm thinking, I don't never want to be like that. I'm always trying to keep up with technology, this AI stuff. I'm always going to do that. I'm never going to be good as a kid who's born into it, but I'm always going to keep myself
sharp.
I'm not going to, you can't be sitting back and, I'm not going to use Twitter and thinking I'm too old for that shit. I can't, like, don't then. But then you ain't moving forward. If you want to live, you're going to get lost somewhere in time.
I agree.
Yeah? And the thing is, people are connecting. I do agree with you. Everything, yin and yang, there's a lot of badness, but it's never been so good for businesses. It's never been so good for mental health, you know, through lockdown. Staying connected with family for free all over the world, making friends, never losing touch of connection with people. It's got a lot of good assets. It's made so many millionaires, you know. Yeah. And it's got a lot of bad things. And people on there talking about, you know, young girls looking with their Botox and all that. Yeah, I get it. If I had a little girl, I'd be the same. But, you know,
I think I've always said this since day one of the pod, and even before the pod. I think social media has done more good than bad. I think people just zone in on the negatives of it.
You just need to know how to use it.
Yeah, you just need to know how to use it.
It's like we say, choose who you follow carefully.
Yeah. Your social media is your diet, isn't it? If you keep following dickheads, you're going to be...
being a kid now, right? If you're living in London, where I live, it's a stab capital of the world now. South London is an acid attack capital of the world. Yeah. So I don't really want my fire ranking. I don't want it out on the streets in South London, really. I'm going to be not honest with you. Like, it's bad enough in my day, stabbings every fucking weekend and fighting. Yeah. But nowadays, it's fucking more worse. So if my kid's got to sit indoors or come in early than what I used to be allowed to, or whatever, it's okay if he connects with his friends. You know,
PlayStation, yeah,
I don't mind that. Sweet. You're indoors, you're sweet. You're still connecting, you're still talking. Right, yeah, don't go out and play as much anymore, but, you know, there's a lot more fucking out there. Look at the BBC, it's isn't it? So
far,
the world's the more
dirty.
London's bad at the minute. So yeah, it's bad out there. So, you know, you can't keep them indoors either. Again, it's hard to find balance as it is, let alone trying to generalise it, because, you know, I want them to go out and have fun, but also under my terms. So that's a bit of a contradiction, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? Then they get if they're indoors and depressed, at least they're connected with their mates. I mean, I don't know. I think social media's it's good, and it's...
Yeah, I was just curious to what you thought.
I will never have a generalisation anything, because I think there's good and bad in everything. I learned about the mind, learn about, you know, this is what mushrooms are good at, right? I don't know, I've gone back to it. But if you've ever done the shrooms, right, you always say things when you get a little bit sure. If you had like 1 or 2 grams of shrooms and you have a little chill out, if you do, this is what I've heard, right? But what happens is, if you do, you end up going like, but it's like I'm outside, but I'm in. Or you go, but it's wet, but I feel so dry. Like,
I feel like there's stairs over there, but there ain't.
Yeah. There's an hill, It's weird, isn't it?
There's a hill. There's always a hill. There's always a hill.
It's so bright and dark. Like, you always get a little polarity of them. It's like, it always seems to get me in a state of seeing the two sides. Yeah. That's what I think is quite wonderful about them. It's like a lot of balance.
Let's pack this shit up. Go and get on the phone. Good night. Yes,
do part 2 after we've just...
Yeah, that's it.
Part 2 on the micro, though. See how deep we get.
Oh, well, 100%, man. I'm going.
That was good, man. We will have to wrap up there, because I think we've gone way over. We're like an hour 20.
We're an hour and a half now.
Wow.
Way over.
That was good, man. I love the research.
Wicked,
Anything you want to wrap that up with, Robert?
Anything you want to say to people, or like a closing message, anything at all, man?
Or promote your plug anything you want.
So the hypnotistman.com if you want to find me for therapy. I've got the holistic retreat in Marbella. I've also got an app coming out in September. Look out for it. The Manifestation app is going to take over the world. It's amazing. And I also got out. I'm also working on a movie at the moment, guys.
Oh wow, amazing, man.
Yeah, I've actually got the rights to a movie. It's going to be a big thing. Have you heard? You know the Craze film?
Yeah.
I'm working with Eddie Richardson doing a movie, The Richardsons.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, it's going to be a big thing. So.
Do you need any extras or anything?
Yeah,
let us know.
guys.
Can we come to the premiere?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yeah,
boys.
banging.
I mean, there'll definitely be little extra parts if you want to do that as well.
Yeah,
I'd love to.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to do.
100%.
We're with investors at the moment. With Eddie's actually going to be in the film. Amazing is that. There's never been a gangster film with the boss in the film. It's like having Gotti and John Gotti.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
His
Like,
brother's still in prison.
He's
right?
sorry.
Or is he dead?
His brother,
brother.
Charlie died.
Yeah, Charlie's dead, isn't he?
Yeah, he's dead, and Eddie's 87. Mad Frankie Fraser's passed away.
Yeah.
But the stories, we've been working with him for about 3 months. Stories are incredible. Like ain't gonna be like glamorous and suits. It's gonna be boss violence from day one. They took over the West End. Everyone thinks
Well, they were known as a torture gang, weren't they?
Yeah.
Torture gang.
Yeah.
That's
But what
known
people
as.
don't realise is, Eddie and Frank run the West End. They weren't Richardson's. They put on Eddie and Frank. His brother Charlie went off to, in this later years, his brother went off to South Africa and had diamond mines, Charlie. Eddie and Frank run the West End. When you think about the crazy little East London, which really faces all like South London in comparison to the West End, isn't it? The money's in the West. Eddie and Frank run that. No one talks about that. They had it on lockdown. They had old Bill on the bribes. They should just shut down shops. They should just run it, mate. And they had pubs, fruit machines from down south right up to, up to Glasgow. They were. This story is what we've been doing. Like, it is about the Richardsons. You go with Charlie and his dad. It's amazing. It's amazing stories. So we've just done that. Everything's ready. We've filmed Eddie's bit already, because Eddie's going to be. I won't spoil it. He's
don't do it.
He's got a couple of little bits in the film, and then. Yeah, it's going to be amazing.
When can we expect that to come out then?
Well, as I say, we're not even in production yet. We're investors. I've got meetings this week, next week.
Wow.
We got the investment coming in, so it's looking really good. And then it's just a case of confirming the cast.
Sure.
We've got a massive good director. So yeah, we're looking.
Do you know it'd be a wicked director on something like that? Someone like Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie, yeah, I thought that as well. Yeah, it'd be good. But then I don't know. I do, but I think. What we've got here, I don't say too much.
No, don't keep us in the loop. Just keep us in the loop as things go.
It's more going to be Godfather-y, fucking like darky. Imagine Peaky Blinder-y look.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's going to be violent.
It's going to be Netflix.
I like it.
Going to push for Netflix.
We're going to go everywhere as much as we can. Yeah, definitely be out. You'll definitely get it on Prime, Netflix. It's definitely going to go.
Oh, mate, if we can help be involved, we'd love to.
Man.
We'd love to.
Get you extra work.
100% be involved.
That's the deal, mate. We're going to need extras loads and loads. We've got
count us in.
We're going to supposed to go to South Africa, so we've got to go somewhere to film that. We ain't going to go to South Africa, but we've got some good bits in there. It's amazing. So look out for that film. It's going to be a big hit next year, I reckon.
Buzzing.
It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on, mate.
Final message, Rob. Have you got a
mate.
final message for people other than the plug-in?
Final message would say, learn how to visualize if you don't. It's one of the most underrated senses to people. They think of the secret. No one has enough respect for it. But what happens is when you close your eyes and visualize an end goal and not try to get there, you access the experience. So I see myself in California every day. Yeah. So I visualize my California. I visualize the movie. I visualize with the movie I spoke about. I'm on stage in Leicester Square doing a chat on the premiere. That's what I get things like that. I see the end goal. I don't see the making. If I'm going to get, because if I'm visualizing the end goal, I've already got the money, innit? I've already done everything. So I'll stay focused to the end goal and just let nature take its course, yeah? And that's the same with my app. My app's going to be a worldwide phenomenon. It is amazing, the app, what we've done. It's got like a wall in there, like a Facebook wall where you can talk about manifestation and goodness. If ain't gonna be no trolls on there because you're gonna have to subscribe. You've got a journal, manifestation journal. It helps you go through your visualizations each day, your goals, your visualization meditations and mind dumping, all this stuff. You've got a daily projection, a daily review at the end, and that goes into a tracker where you can see your moods and everything daily. It's got content from hypnotherapy, UMT, 12 laws of the universe. Because everyone talks about laws of the universe, they always think about law of attraction. It's the fucking third law. The first law is the law of divine oneness. The second law is the law of vibration. And then you can only understand the law of attraction. If you don't understand the other two, you're going to be running around thinking you know something, but you don't, yeah? Then you've got law of polarity, law of rhythm, and there's bundles of them, yeah? There's 12 main laws. So we're teaching you all the laws of the universe. We're taking it to another level on what's been going on. So there's going to be loads of content, meditations, and yes, look out for that. That's going to be September, guys. But what I would say is get the visualizations done, yeah? Close your eyes, see the end goal, and what happens is you're practicing the emotion prior to the event. So I'm seeing myself, yeah, in California, where I want to live, coming back and forth, and I'm starting to feel like this multi-millionaire who's rocking it out there and coming back and forth and flying pro. I'm seeing that now, yeah, and I'm practicing affirmating over the top of that, yeah. I'm multi-millionaire, as I see it every day, like a savage, and now it's just so normal to me to see him say this stuff. I feel like I'm already there. So Muhammad Ali said, I'm the greatest, I'm the next heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, I feel like a world champion. When you see him, when you study Ali, yeah, at the age of 12, he was visualising being a world champion. Oh, no, WBA belt, knocking people out, buying his mum and dad a house. He said, I visualised that every day. My TV was in where I'm in a gym skipping, he'd be visualising, yeah? So when he got to 18 and wins the Olympics in Rome, he wasn't even a fucking professional. And he said, I'm the greatest. Of course he was going to win the Olympics. He didn't want to win. He expected to because he had a vision right through the Olympics into world title.
Expected to
actually have already won it.
That's
great.
This is what happened with you when you create vision. You become a bit crazy to your craft. Like you start seeing things, and at first you don't believe it, but you've got to do it religiously. You can't just visualize today and miss a day because your pathway shuts down. It's a consistent 30 days minimum. I've got ADHD, so I think it takes about 6-7 weeks for me. Visualize every day, and once that neural pathway lights up and opens up, it'll stay on. Once it stays on, you start to feel like that person every day. So now you can only think how you
feel.
So you programmed yourself to feel like a multi-millionaire living in California. Now I'm making thoughts to running a line with it. Yeah. So you program the emotion prior to the event. That is the way to go. Have a good one. God bless you.
Love that.
And that's exactly why, guys, we're going to be one of the biggest podcasts on the planet.
Yeah.
Living in Dubai. Living in Dubai, boys. Come on. If you've made it this far, we appreciate you highly. You're the guys that make this happen. We love you all. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Drop us a like. And we'll see you in the next.
Peace. Rob, that was quality, bro.